Hey, hello and welcome everybody. Today it's Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, and I thought, why not do another live stream? I haven't live streamed in a week. Well, I don't know. Tuesday I had ZYLTECH on, but it wasn't a hangout. So today we're doing another hangout, and we're live on Twitter, we're on YouTube, and on my Facebook group. So let me bring in a couple of guys that are already here hanging out, and we'll take questions from chat. If anybody else would like to drop in, there's a link right there on the screen, wherever you're watching from, and you're welcome to drop in and hang out. Hey, Liam.
Hey, Jerry, how are you?
How you guys doing?
Good. Hey, Kenny.
You hear us okay, Kenny? Can't hear you. Your microphone. Nope. Not yet. Yeah, it says his mic is muted. I can't unmute it, so.
Yeah, you're muted on StreamYard, Kenny.
Yeah, you got to unmute on StreamYard. There should be a little button there on the screen. You click the little microphone.
Hey, Old Curmudgeon, how are you?
Old Curmudgeon, how you doing? Non-fam. Kenny's here. Navari, how's it going, Trevor? Tim up in Canada, how you doing? Yeah, just sitting around hanging out, and Kenny's trying to get his mic. There we go. I think I should be able to hear you now, Kenny. Say something.
No.
Yeah, I had you for a second, I thought.
I think you're muted. I think he's muted on his side now as well.
All right.
The wrong microphone selected.
He'll figure it out. Yeah, we got some people watching here, there, and everywhere. We got a bunch of people on YouTube. We got 2 people on Twitter and 2 on my group watching, and then 7 on YouTube. Yeah, nothing really special going on today. I printed another piece for my Ecto 1 project. This will be the base. When I go to get the car done, I turn it upside down and work on the electronics. This was too wide for my Hypercube, which is 400 by 400 by 500. So I cut it up in NetFab and printed it with no supports. And if I would have turned this thing on in my Hypercube, it would have fit, but then I would have had, a roll of filament and support. So I'll just glue it back together and it'll be good to go. So I'll probably do that today. Hey, Betty Boot 45 from the bedroom. How you doing? Dropping in on her phone, hanging out. So, yeah. What have you been working on, Liam? What's going on?
Right now I'm printing in shiny silver PLA, which is unusual for me. I'm doing the Millennium Falcon is what I'm printing right now. I'm going to add it to my backdrop here of some nice prints. So it'll probably take another 2 days to run before it's ready.
Alrighty, that's going to be nice to see. Yeah, I've seen you done a little Mandalorian, right? You want to show that off?
Yeah, sure. I've actually done a few parts for that. I keep it here. I'm not finished with it yet. This is a no supports Mandalorian. Again, in the shiny silver. I really like the shiny silver effect.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I see his hand is up against his cape that way. It didn't require support. That's nice.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, that's how it holds it up. And then I did this had no supports. This needed supports. This is the baby Yoda.
Nice.
And then I printed a base for it, which I've already filled and give it a first coat of filler primer. And since this is indented, I'm going to infill this area with a silver color.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rest of it's going to be black. So then with this shiny silver mounted on it for the Mandalorian and the baby Yoda, it will look kind of cool. The two of them together in silver on top of this.
That'll be really nice. Yeah, and for those of you that didn't see the newest episode of Mandalorian yesterday, he has a name. I forget what it was, but Baby Yoda, people online are going to start calling him by his name now. Cool. Very nice.
Yeah, so that's what, and then I have, as I said, the Millennium Falcon is on the printer, right? Is one of my printers right now. And you're my bad influence. It's your fault.
Yeah.
I see all of your beautiful models behind you, and I'll say, and I do more practical parts, and I say, I have to try some models like that because Jerry does not print models all the time. Now, I got the bug. It's your fault. I'm blaming you.
When people bring their wife or girlfriend in the room, they go, "Look, I don't have too many models. Look at that dude." Yeah. When I got my first printer, I didn't at the time. It's like, well, I don't need more than one printer. Why would I need more than one printer? And then a month or so later, it's like, well, this is taking too long to print. I need another printer. And
I have 6 of them.
Yeah. And then
and more on the way.
Nellis Auctioneer in Vegas had a bunch of Amazon returns. So I got a bunch of enders that way, and this, that, and other. Yeah, he's having audio trouble. All right. Well, thank you for dropping in, Kenny. If and when you ever get a picture, welcome. I'll pop back in. Hey,
Hey,
Canada, how you doing?
I'm good, A. How are you, A?
Good man himself.
Oh,
Hello again, Tim.
just finishing up my Friday afternoon, and I don't need to leave here for another hour, and I decided I'm going to take the rest of the day off from work. So I figured I'll come and hang out before I go home.
Dixon, how's it going?
Hey, Dixon.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Pretty good. I haven't seen you in a bit. How everybody eat a lot of food yesterday?
Oh, I just got done eating some more pumpkin pie. That's enough. It's enough.
I just dreamed about turkey, thinking of all you Americans eating turkey. We
Yeah.
already had ours back in October.
Oh, yeah. Yep. We always make a stuffed chicken, but I'm not having a good weekend. I got the phone this weekend, and I got called in a bunch of times.
You're on call?
Yeah, I'm on call, and so the chicken got a little overdone by the time I got back home. The wife had everything else running, so that was good. But chicken, we didn't start until later when everybody went home, and it's still I left it in too long.
Yeah, stoves need timers. I think they did back in the 60s, but the new stoves need timers nowadays.
No, they do have timers.
Yeah, I don't use them.
I know they got clocks on them, but I don't think I have a shut-off timer on mine.
No, mine does. Mine has a timer.
And it seems like most of the time, if I'm in the living room and I time things by the microwave and I don't hear the microwave, you can usually smell it. And a lot of things I cook, I notice, based on how it's cooking, you can tell when it's done just by the sizzle. I'll try to explain it, but kind of tell when food's done by how it sounds or how it smells.
For me, when I smell the burning, I know to get in there. It's done.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always cook a chicken and stuff it with stuffing because I like the stuffing with raisins, and nobody else likes that.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this sweater. It makes me look like I'm about 200 pounds heavier than what I really am.
You know when food is cooked. You know when the food is ready to be eaten when the fire alarm goes off.
Yeah. Yeah. Then you don't have to worry about getting sick.
Yeah, you know it's well done.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
Thanksgiving was quiet because there's no no family or anything coming over. It's just those who live in my house. So it's just the 4 of us. Like we normally have somebody come over for Thanksgiving and for Christmas. We have like relatives in the area, but because of this COVID craziness,
Yeah.
there's none of that happening. So
Hey, Trevor, if you're still watching, here's that little piece that I printed out. And like I said, automatically on the K40, I don't want to go nuts and start buying what everybody says, do this, do that. And I'm limited on funds. So I'm going to go ahead and try to put this over the stock nozzle with air assist and see how well that works. And if I have trouble with any of the residue or the burning getting up on that lens, which it may, I don't know, because I haven't used it yet. I don't know anything about lasers. Then I could change something else and go to a different option, like that piece you were talking about.
Is that just to cool the tip or something? What's that for?
Well, when the laser's cutting, it burns stuff, and it's got to blow away the debris. So you hook up a little air pump. I bought a little
Air assist.
Oh, so
Yeah.
basically to suck everything up.
no,
That's your air
Blow
assist.
it away.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's going to catch fire, and this will blow away all the debris.
Oh, nice.
Trevor sent me a link to a company that took a plastic tip, and when you buy,
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's used for air assist.
yeah,
that's missing a line.
that's
I'll
beautiful.
tell you what pardon?
That's missing a line.
Oh, yeah?
It says, "In God we trust." Underneath that, you say, "All others pay cash."
Yeah. That's a good one.
What laser are you using for those?
This is that real little Chinese, like 4-watt.
Or the
Okay.
cable. Oh, like a diode laser.
Like
Yeah.
those-
Yep. It's the little one, the real little one, not the 40K, but the little 5-watt
Well, that's
thing.
the 7. That's the
Sure.
15-watt one. It's 15, but it's actually 3 or 4 watt output.
yeah.
Yeah, they lie.
I ordered
Mine's supposed to
one.
be a 5-watt, but it's really about 3.5, 4.
And the hose that comes with this to fit on that brass nipple, I'm thinking, well, how can I get this little line on there?
And
So
then
I
we
heated it up and I tried to shove it over it. Of course, that didn't work. And then I realized, cut that one off. I'll shove it inside. Now, if it blows it out, I'll just silicone it to it, and that'll work fine.
You know what I did, Jerry? I got a big compressor in my basement, but it's It's so big, it's nice and quiet. It's quiet, like real quiet. It's a twin cylinder. And I got sick of hooking. I had a copper tube and wired to my 40 watt laser and air assisted. I got sick of hooking up my air compressor to it. So I thought, hey, I'm going to take a fan. I took a fan from the 3D printer, but it's a real high speed fan. Mm-hmm. And I wired that up to the Arduino board and put that right. I made a bracket like you were showing, but it was for that fan to slide right over the lens. Works and good. I put that on there, and sure enough, that works awesome. So that fan just kicks on and pulls all the air away in the dust.
Yeah, in my garage years ago, I had a belt-driven compressor, like probably what you're talking about, and then they had the piston drive, and those piston drives, God, those things scream.
Oh, them are them single ones that have no they have veins in them, and that mine's a 2-piston, but it's oil. You're talking about the oilless ones. They're
louder than hell. It's like my mom at Sears is like, can I plug this in first in the store? I mean, this thing is louder than sin.
Oh yeah, you can't have them in the house or in the basement.
But what I'll do on this, if it works out, I'll just basically shove it in there.
Yeah.
Shove the tube in, and I'll hook it up that way. But
they work good.
I ordered a mini Gerbil board. I got tracking for it. It was mailed Tuesday. I should get it hopefully today, tomorrow, the next day. And I'll hook that up before I fire it. I got to get everything running, get the water in it, get everything going before I test fire. And then I paid for Lightburn G-code version. And
I was going to say, if you didn't want to buy Lightburn, this is done with laser Gerbil. It's all free.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome. But Lightburn is nice too if you're going to go with upgrade your 40K.
And then I don't want to, like, my laptop is too slow to put in there next to it. It's only got Windows 10 32-bit. It's slower than sin. So I'm just going to run a cord from this computer I'm at into that other room whenever I'm using it on the floor. Then I'm not using a laser. I'll just scroll the cord back up. This might work, but I don't know yet.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but the extractor fan, I was just about to talk about your extractor fan. I'm saying if you point, you know your air assist that you have there, Jerry. If you put your air assist in, so it's actually between, so the angle of it is actually blowing backwards towards the fan. It will actually keep all the smoke clear of your laser beam from, and then the extractor fan in the back will take it all out.
That might work. I'll experiment.
Yeah.
The fan that K40 has, like the one you ordered from Omtech, it's not like a lot of those that you see on eBay where the fan drops in the back. It's built in. Whether it's the same exact one, I don't know. It looks like a giant PC fan in there, black one. I'll have to see how well it works by itself, but I'll use this for a backup. The hose will come out of it, go down to the wall where it exhausts. This will be mounted to that, and then my hose will come up.
Well, I've also heard that the K40s have the power supply in them is only designed to power the board, not the motors as well. So some people are saying it's actually a good idea to put a second power supply in there.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Like I say, through Omtech, it's got a 2-year warranty on stuff like that.
Yeah. The support there, it's really good. You pick up the phone. They're in this country, so it's easy to reach them.
Yeah. So what else everybody work on? Anybody in chat got any questions on Twitter, YouTube, or Facebook? We're here to ask. If you'd like to join in and hang out with us, you're welcome to join in. We were talking about 3D printing, hobby stuff, anything like that. We don't talk about politics, sex, everybody try to watch what they say. So if something slips once in a while, that's fine. Try not to make it a habit.
Well, I'm kind of proud of what I did here. I've been teaching myself Fusion 360. So I designed this. It's just a little triangle box, but it's for my business partner. He likes playing a dice game.
Cool.
So I just designed a bottom and a lid for a dice.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very nice.
That was sort of my graduating task from Fusion 360 from what I've learned so far. So
nice.
There you go.
Yeah, old curmudgeon. Yeah, I used to have one like that. It had 2 wheels. I rolled it around. And then eventually I got a big piston drive, which I sold. I don't have it no more. I have a smaller one. Right now, I think I have I can't think of the name. From Home Depot, it's orange. I can't think of the brand name. It's got 2 pistons. You can carry it by the handle. They use them on job sites. That's what I have in my garage right now. So, and I got 100 foot of hose whenever I want to air up tires. I used to actually bring it in the house. I'd run a hose in the house all the way into my computers and I'd blow off my case fans and everything. I'd just hold the fan so I wouldn't over rev it and blow it out. Now I have a little portable can I ordered offline, a yellow one like airing up tires. It's got a coil hose on it. I take that out in the garage, air it up. It doesn't last that long, but when I want to blow off my computers and my extruders or whatever, and they get all the garbage in them when they chew up filament. I just pull them out with that compressed air. Keeps them clean.
I'm unwrapping something that I made that's going to go out that I had to make for a client. I just finished it up, so I wrapped it up. It's a LED brewer sign.
Oh, nice.
It lights up yellow.
Very nice.
What's that? Is that did you paint the back of the glass and then engrave it off?
Nope. I do things real quick. Otherwise, you can't get your money's worth. I took a piece of Lexan, put my vinyl on the back. I put a sheet of yellow vinyl on the back, then a sheet of the black on the front, LEDs in the back side, and then just made a wooden frame, cardboard on the back, and 12 volts, and it lights up yellow.
Nice.
We see the back of it?
It's just a piece of cardboard I put, because the LEDs and that are all glued in there.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yep. So I just glued a piece of cardboard for the back. He wants to put this in his bathroom. I made a bunch of decals for his bathroom. He's making it all Milwaukee Brewers.
Like you with the if you had that image in Lightburn or whatever for your laser.
No, I do a lot of.
You can just burn off the back of a mirror and use that and light it up.
Yeah, you could do that too. I do a lot of work, just like Tim there. I got a vinyl cutter. I do all vinyls, Hoffman Signs and Decals.com. So I just do the.
Yeah, I don't have any. I don't have a vinyl cutter. That will be the to-do list.
I thought about getting one a while back off of eBay and then an inkjet printer instead of my laser, but I couldn't justify how can it make me money. As you see, I have so many different things I got my hands into. I don't really finish nothing. So it's like, no, it's not for me. I got too many projects. And now I got a laser. And I got the CNC in the garage, which I still don't have the firmware on yet. So,
Yeah. You wanna estimate it. If you focus on that laser, you want to estimate you'll recoup your money. You should be able to recoup your money in a month or two, real easy. But it depends, like you said, how much you focus on it.
Yeah.
I every 3D printer I bought, it had to pay for itself in a month, or I wouldn't buy it. And that vinyl cutter, that was crazy. I recovered my money in like a couple of weeks with that.
Yeah, everybody watching, please hit the thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. Please share this video. Let's get more people in chat watching, and it'll really be helpful to me and my channel. I'd really appreciate it. Navari, Trevor doesn't have a vinyl cutter? Come on, you got everything down there in Florida. Yeah, he's got lasers and all kinds of goodies. And I got my lucky coin laying here. Let me show you.
So what do you use for your vinyl? When you cut it out, what do you do? You coat it with blue builder's painter's tape or something like that, so it can be transferred?
No, you get transfer tape. You get what they call transfer tape and put it on top and peel it off after you weed it, transfer it. You're done.
Nice. I've seen that before, Jerry. That's nice. That's laser cut, isn't it?
Yeah. Solid brass, Navari 3D printing. Trevor in chat made this for me, or he made it and sent it to me.
Yeah, that was done with fiber laser.
Yeah. And as a matter of fact, a similar fiber laser they had here at Nellis Auction last week, the bids went up to $2,050. Somebody bought it. I guess it's like $7,000, and it's supposedly new. So I don't know if it's the same exact one as his, but it was similar to what he made this with. But yeah, that's awesome.
So that's a big roll of transfer tape right there. It's just basically, whoops, that's really bright. All it is basically really wide, and I've got 48-inch wide ones as well, but it's just big masking tape.
Yep.
But it's got a specific tack to it.
Yeah.
Made for vinyl.
When I was young, long time ago, I worked for a company that used to do signs, and we actually used to use masking tape, not transfer tape. We just used to use normal masking tape.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be a pain.
It wasn't that bad actually, because the vinyl adhesion was actually stronger. So when you get the first maybe couple of 2 or 3 inches folded back, and you pull back flush along the surface, like stick your hand to it and slide back, it leaves the vinyl behind.
Yeah. Well, when you do big trucks and all that, you can't mess around. You gotta have the right stuff and get her done.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yep, you're right. It works. Yep, it'll work.
Because we would stick it onto sheets of plastic for signs and light up signs and stuff. and they didn't want anything engraved or painted on it, so they wanted the vinyl on it. And so it was the easiest way to do it was that way, and the bonding was fantastic. So
Yeah.
Anybody like to jump in and hang out? There's a link there if you want to jump in. One person I invited to come in and talk about a lot of his models that he has for sale right now on Black Friday. He's unable to make it, but another person, which is an awesome painter, Omar, says he has to run some errands. He'll be in a little bit.
Jerry, if you click on that link, there should be 3 dots on it, and make it a sticky so it appears at the top. For the StreamYard link.
Oh, pin message. Okay.
Now it appears at the top. So you just tell everyone to scroll up to the top. It's up there.
Thank you. I seen somebody do that the other day. I was wondering how they do that.
Well, that's how I found out about it this morning.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for letting me know.
I asked somebody else who had it set up in the same way, and I asked him how did he do it, and he told me. So
Okay, so if I have a donation link or anything, I can pin it.
yeah.
Oh, cool. Can you have more than one, or you don't know?
Oh no, sorry. You can only pin one at a time.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Cool. TK 3D Prints. Hello, how you doing? If you'd like to drop in TK, there's a link up there at the top you can click on. My friend Liam here just told me how to pin it at the top of the post. So, and it's in blue. Cool. I love blue.
See, I'm educating someone. I only found out myself about 2 hours ago.
I learn things all the time I didn't know. I mean, a lot of times I wonder how people take screen captures, and I do it differently than how they do. And my son said, Dad, just type in the word snip at the bottom line in Windows 10.
Snipping tool, yeah.
And just outline anything, and you can snip it real fast and save it. So I use snip all the time.
All right, if you're on a Mac, you do Command Shift 4 and then drag and select the area, and that's it. And it saves it to your hard drive.
Yeah, pretty much any computer. You just hit that print screen, hit that little button, print screen, and it'll snapshot it, and you can leave it there for a long time, and then just put it in, what do they call it, Paint, Windows Paint, and pop it in there and save it.
Yeah, well, I don't want to screenshot my bar and everything and all my other information, so I just want to cut it out real quick.
Yep.
Well, actually, if you do print screen, it gets the whole screen. If you do Shift and print screen, it only gets the window you're in.
Your next tool should be a laser, because the laser will probably have a lot more fun with it, as long as you can see okay and you're not all thumbs, because you don't want to hurt yourself. But my MPCNC's in the garage. It's going to be louder than hell. I can make some cool signs, but I think you can do so much more with a laser. There's so many different things you can do with a laser, and it could possibly make you a lot of money, possibly.
I think it depends on what you're into. Like CNC is actually is removing lots of material to get what you want, and you can do CNC carving. It's not just burning out letters or whatever. You can actually shape it into carve, because a CNC moves in X, Y, and Z, right? The CNC tool head can. Whereas if you're just doing signs and just want to burn out, etch out something on a surface, then or cut something that's really not really thin. A laser's way to go, but
yeah, they all got their place, and a laser is for real intricate stuff. They all got their place.
Yes, they do. A CNC can be for really intricate stuff too, you know.
With the right bit.
But one is actually providing more depth. Then a laser doesn't give you depth. A CNC will give you depth of image, because you can carve it out in three-dimensional image on a surface.
Trevor, do you have any Black Friday sales going on today, or anything you might want to pop in and chat for a few minutes and tell everybody about it? You're welcome to if you'd like to. If any companies are out there watching in the 3D printing community and you have something you want to talk about, you're welcome to drop in and talk about it.
So I just found the order. I ordered myself a laser. I ordered the Ortur Master 2 32-bit motherboard laser.
That's a diode, yeah?
Yeah, and I don't know how power of 20 watt it says.
That's about 5 watt. It's 20 watt in, about 5.5 watt out.
Okay.
Yeah, they're calling it a 5 watt. It's really only going to put out 4.25.
No, that one actually does put out about 5 watt. What they call the 17 outputs about 3 or 4, about 3, and the 20 watt outputs at about 5 watt, between 4.5 to 5.5 watts is its range.
Okay.
So they work fine, but they're they cannot, because they're diode. They're not good for cutting. You can't cut
You wait.
or anything like that with them.
You're
But
not cutting. You're not cutting nothing with that. I mean, people say, "Yeah, I'm going to cut it." Okay, who's going to cut a coaster out and go around 10 times?
Yeah.
You're not
Stainless steel?
yeah, yeah.
with a diode laser, you'd be there 6 years trying to cut through it.
There's my buddy up in Green Bay. He's got a laser and he can cut through 3-inch metal, 4x8 sheets. The crane set on there, but he's got a big gas. He's got all these gas tanks lined up. Some kind of gas laser.
Wow.
Oh, he's probably running 100 watt or 200 watt.
Oh yeah. He's cutting. Yeah, he's cutting. Usually, when you do something like that, you'd go to a water jet, because of the cost.
Yeah.
But them water jets, they break down because of the 300,000 psi. They break down once a month too.
Or maybe he's running. What are they called? The plasma cutter.
No, it's a gas laser because
Really?
it's a laser, but it's not like their 40Ks. It's a different type of gas and everything, and he's got rows and rows of these tanks, gas tanks, and then he showed me, says, "Hey, you want to see a laser?" Because he knew I did all this crap, and holy cripes, he had a slab of metal on there that thick, and he was cutting out parts, and I mean, it was no messing around.
It's like
4x8 sheets.
It's like cutting butter with a hot knife.
Yeah.
I wanted to dabble in and get my foot in the laser world because the price was decent. It was on sale, and it was the highest powered one they offered in that model. So
yeah, you'll be real happy with that with any kind of engraving.
Tim, I'm going to put a note in private chat that you should check out. Okay.
Okay.
TK's got a link here for a Soul Bowl giveaway. If anybody wants to copy and paste that, check it out.
Oh yeah. I have about 40 entries already. No, about 87 entries already.
Okay.
Here's some signs since it's so quiet. Here's some signs I did years ago, and the top group is my CNC.
Oh, nice.
And the bottom one is CNC, and then all the letters that insert are laser cut.
Okay, cool.
So it's hard to see the name on top of the name, but it's like a puzzle. It's like what do they call it? Inlaid or whatever. So they all got their place, just like 3D printing. The cool thing about 3D printing, it's sort of like a CNC 3D printing. You can walk away and let it rip, let it run for days at a time, and you don't gotta watch it.
Well, I have a 3018 on the way, the small CNC, a desktop CNC. So I'm planning on combining CNC, laser engraving, and 3D printing into one design. So laser engraved detail on the outside, CNC out words or whatever, and then using the same image, invert that, and 3D print it, and actually stick the plastic words into the CNC cutout grooves.
Cool.
Yep, that'll work.
Yeah, so I'm going to do some playing with that, and then that way, then you have a permanent color embedded in the wood. There's no paint involved, and it lasts longer. And then you have the detail on the outside. So that's coming up probably I'll probably start at the end of the year because the CNC that I'm getting won't arrive probably till near the end of December, I'm guessing. And then I'll have lots of printers.
What's the name of that CNC?
The 3018. There's a small desktop.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You're in a different country. You're in
No, if you Google 3018 CNC, you will find lots of them out there. Like Stain Smart make them, or Tour make them. Lots of different companies make them.
William's in America.
I'm in the States.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, TK's here. How you doing,
Hey,
TK?
man.
Hi, everyone.
It's 10 o'clock at night, 10:30.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah. So yeah, you should look. Those CNCs they're common. They're small little. They don't have you can upgrade the motors to be higher power, but you don't need it. It's good for wood and it's good for other softer materials like that. It's ideal.
Keep talking, Liam. I'm adjusting your mic volume.
Is it too loud?
Yeah, you're okay. Just keep talking. I'm adjusting it.
Keeping talking is never a problem for me. I'm Irish. I never.
All right. I got it. TK, what do you got going on? What have you been doing, buddy?
I've basically been prepping these up with dry brushing, ready for painting.
Oh, nice.
Oh, very detailed. That's another resin print, I guess.
Yeah.
You know,
You do mostly resin, don't you?
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
you know, it's amazing how you used to make pewter parts, and then they'd go for big money. Well, you could 3D print like that, and then if you rub them with the right paints, it looks like pewter. Yeah. I mean, you could make it looks just like pewter, and nobody know the difference.
And it looks heavier than it is.
Yeah.
I mean, the base I actually made in with the Rift, Oculus Rift.
Oh,
wow,
cool. I know on my Vibe, I used to have a paint program I haven't tinkered with, but I could actually walk around it in VR. Can you walk around your models in VR?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I've got
they're out front of you in space. Okay.
Oh, very cool.
Tilt paint, which, well, yeah, it's like a 3D painting.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's a lot of gaps in that, but I actually use the, it's now owned by Adobe, the Medium software.
Yes.
Which I think will work on the other. This is a model from Arch Villain.
Oh, cool.
Come on, get into focus.
It's like a mummy.
You're too close.
Yeah. So again, that's cool. I hate this camera. It's really annoying. Come on, focus.
No, it's still focused on you.
They're back up a little bit, and it should start to focus if you're back.
Yeah, you're too close.
Too close. There you go. Hold it right there. There we go. You got it.
Oh, that's
you're the winner of $10,000.
Wow.
Nice.
So that's already shaded. And again, another one which I built the base in medium.
Back up a little bit more.
There you go.
Nice.
Nice. Wow. Everybody watching, take TK's lead. Make things this size. Don't do what I did because I don't have any more room.
You got to be careful too, making something that big. You're gonna get. It's hard to sell, and you're gonna get costly with the resin.
Yeah.
No. What Jerry's going to do is next he prints stuff so big, he's going to wait till he figures out how to print silicone, and he's going to print a copy of himself and put it in front of the camera.
Yeah, but I have all my prints.
If I would have printed everything small, it'd be so easy to ship and manage. And a lot of my stuff I can't ever sell because I can't ship it unless I try to break it apart and somebody re-glues it together. So yeah, I made a mistake. So bigger isn't always better, guys. So
when I get the belt printer, don't start swords to sell. No.
You're not getting a belt printer, are you?
Yeah, I ordered it just because I was curious.
Hey, Mama.
Unless you're printing stuff long, I personally have no need for anything like that. I don't need to print something that's 20 feet long.
No.
If I need something 20 feet long, I'll go and buy an RSJ. Or I'll go buy
I got it because I'm doing
a bit of lumber.
I've got like 5 printers that are constantly printing the same thing day after day lately for a customer. And a belt printer would be perfect for that because I can only leave so many running at night. And if I can leave it running all night.
Hey, you should put that, Tim, you should put that G code in there like I do that just comes in, keeps bumping them off.
Since we're talking about belt printers, I'm going to run Maker Muse's video here. Let's check this out.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
I watched this today. It was good.
I don't
look at that. Look at that. That's cool.
I'm going to let it run for 15 minutes.
Literally, and as a result, it's capable of some incredible feats.
I mean, I
like his videos.
Yeah, I don't need one, but you know what? I got it in on the whatever they call it, the flash sale. So
yeah, like I think like it's fine if you don't have a time limit and you want to keep running, it's great. But if you, like for the price of that, I can print 4 or 5 of the same object in the same amount of time as it takes to print one.
Yeah.
Yes.
And vertical walls, from what I've seen, especially in the starting walls, the very first wall, if it's a vertical wall or whatever, like a back of a benchy, its quality is not great.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're kind of skirting the material at an angle, not starting out with a smooth wall.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think I think the concept is great. I think the ideal concept of this would be if the head could rock.
Well, take a
First wall
standard.
straight,
What
and
if you
then
took a
do everything
standard
45 and then do the outer wall and then do this on the
Yeah.
head?
a
That
fourth
would be the
axis?
ultimate.
What if you took a regular printer and put
Do
a
I have
belt
the
on it?
volume too loud? Are you guys having to talk over Angus? Or
No.
No.
Okay.
What if you took a regular printer and you put a belt on it?
You
Then
can
it's
do
still got
that
the X,
too.
Y, and Z, and you got perfect prints, and it just keeps and have it jog ahead each time every print.
And you could use black belt to do it.
Yeah.
All you need to do is you're moving your stepper from being in this position to being on the side and have it and you have no Z limitations. Exactly like Joe, like they have there,
Well, if I'm being 100% honest, part of the reason I got it is because I want to build it on my channel.
Yeah.
If I'm being 100% honest.
There's nothing wrong with that at all. I figured
Yeah.
and there's nothing wrong with buying one. I just have.
And you know what? I may enjoy it. I may not have room for it. I may end up selling it. May end up giving it away. You don't know. But
Sure.
I love toying with stuff like this.
Yeah.
And the other thing about it is you must remember you build it at the flash price. If you sold it for half or for half the price as it retails,
I'm
you
ahead
get
of the
money
game.
back.
Yeah.
Here's the other. Oh, I'll wait till.
I thought that was cute. I thought it was funny. He cut out the box with Naomi on it to keep as a souvenir.
I was talking with Joe with Jerry earlier on. Did you see the live stream from Creality?
I saw that they were on, but I didn't see what it was all about.
Did anybody else watch it? Am I the only one here?
No, I think I watched it, but I don't know if I watched the same when you're talking. I watched one of them run, and it didn't look good. The print.
Joel's one didn't turn out good. When 3D Printing Nerd, his first prints that he showed live, the first was there was over extrusion and
Yeah, they were bad.
That
That's I'll bet you what I was watching. Yeah. Joel.
some people have got it fine tuned that it does a really good job. There was other issues about the belt when they were printing at something up high. When the nozzle came up to push it, it tilted the print because it pushed on it. But it varies, Everyone's going to have different aspects to it. But
Well, it's coming out with a different belt apparently than these test ones, and I'm sure they're going to do a lot of different improvements to it before it actually ships in March.
yeah, they're talking about March now before even the first one comes off the production. So yeah, for you, what you do, Tim, I think I see the point that you can let one printer run all night. I think, but for the volume, if you need to do a high volume of stuff in a timely fashion, I'd rather have 4 regular printers.
Right.
I can do 4 items at a time. That's just me.
Yeah, I have 12 of them, and then I got 3 ways that I can have the piece keep printing and push it off, or you go with this option here where I have a little robot arm that'll pick it up and drop it in a box.
Okay.
Oh, you have to share.
Seen that video on that before. That's cool.
You have to share the details of that.
Well, that's why out of the 3 options, I went with the sequential printing, and the other one where you can keep printing and just push it off and continue on with the printing. That way, you don't have to keep heating the bed up in that or cooling it down. This way is not the way to go because you have to have a laptop right now hooked up. I would have to do some fancy stuff with an Arduino board to get rid of the laptop.
You can probably do it with a Raspberry Pi.
Yep.
I just thought of something funny, and I said I was never going to talk about sex or anything on the stream. But this just popped in my head. Someone make one comment. It's not really bad, and that everybody should find it funny. But if you have this belt printer, and it's sponsored by Naomi, and you want to print a bunch of benchies, why don't it just come with a Naomi bra? You could probably catch 100 benchies.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say. So.
But Dixon, you need to share that information about how you built up that robot arm.
Yeah.
I'm a big enough nerd to give it a try with a Raspberry Pi.
Yeah, it's there's more programming that's got to be done so that when it does the G code, it sits there, and I put the G4 with a dwell in it. P6000 is I forgot it's 6,000 is a minute or something, whatever, and then it's got to cool down, and then it'll grab that. Or I do the same thing with the pushing, and then you take the G code and just repeat it. Keep putting it in the, if you want to print 5 of them and repeat 5, you put the G code in 5 times. I just cut and paste. But this way with this robot, the problem is then I got to have it bump back and hit a switch either forward or back to activate the switch on the arm of the robot, so it goes forward and picks it up and drops it.
No, what you do is
No,
you let it cool
I know
down.
I can do it a million different ways, but I just, if you're making production parts, it's hard to find time.
Yeah, what I'm saying, what you do is you let it cool down to the point that the Pi watches is connected to the printer.
Yeah.
And the Pi can sense when the temperature of the bed reaches a certain amount.
Yep.
Then that would be the activation point.
Yep.
And then you just have to hit the send the next G code file into the printer.
If the belt printer is the next big thing, then Creality is going to come along, and there'll be other companies come along and start making things similar, and they'll get refined and better and better and better.
Yeah.
I think if they can get better.
I think the belt thing is good for if you want to make one continuous long thing. Otherwise, it's going to be a lot of headaches. It depends if you want to make money fast or, you know.
I think the next thing is going to be a 5-axis printer, an arm, a 3D printing arm. That'll be the next. It won't be for a couple of years, but I think that's coming.
I guess I got Nightbot running from the other day. I never shut it down because it just popped up here. Okay, I never did turn it off. Yeah. I know that in my ZYLTECH stream, I had Nightbot running before I went on with ZYLTECH. When I got ready to do the giveaway, Nightbot didn't have any people in there. It's like, what's going on? So luckily, Leslie walked around her shop and started showing her shop because I was trying to figure out how to get it to work, and it finally popped up. And that was good. They gave away 3 rolls of filament, 2 3D pins. So that was kind of nice.
That was good. Yeah, so I think that's the next thing coming, though. I think the next thing is a robotic arm with a nozzle on the end, and it goes around. It can print in all directions. Because like we talked about non-planar, but like non-planar printing, right? And that only works to an extent because the nozzle is the limitation about the shape of a nozzle and the length of the heating area is a limitation of non-planar, right? Because you have to have units above it for the nozzle to be able to touch the product, right?
Yeah.
An articulating arm is a cure for that.
It all comes down to how much money do you want to spend and how much time do you have and how much do you want to over-engineer something or, you know.
They've already come out with, there's a company, I can't remember their name. I saw the recording of them. They actually have a 3D printing robotic arm that can fully articulate in all directions, right? So
sure, they have that already. Yep.
Upside down, right? You can print that direction, right? If you need to. But it's $80,000 right now, right?
Sure.
But in 10 years' time, that'll be closer to maybe $5,000 or $6,000 once they have it optimized. And then when more and more people jump on that bag, it'll come down to below $1,000. You know, so it's coming, I think.
If anybody else that's watching on Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube would like to jump in, there's a pinned post at the top that Liam showed me how to post. Just click on the link and come on in, hang out, and let's talk about 3D printing and stuff.
There's a comment there about so many companies copy Creality.
Yeah.
Actually, Creality are not Creality is not the people that everybody copies either. Some people Creality copy other companies as well.
Oh, big time. I mean, like 20 years ago, we got machines down at work 20 years ago that have rollers and running on extrusion. Mm-hmm. And when I first seen the Creality come out with it first, I thought, okay, that's going to be one of the hottest things there are because it's so simple. You got less moving parts instead of all the old threaded rods. But years ago, when I was building 3D printers, you couldn't do that. You didn't have none of these kits or none of these parts. It had to be threaded rod and bearings.
Yeah. And do you know like some of the top management in Creality came from another company? All the 3 top management came out of
somebody else. Yeah,
they came out of JG Maker.
Sure.
So and when Creality started, companies like JG Maker were making the parts for Creality before they got their own production up and running.
Well, one thing you never see in any videos, you see a whole bunch of people in a room with 100 printers are putting together, but you never see the manufacturing side of it. They never actually show you where they're manufacturing.
That's
Yeah,
right.
where they probably got thousands of people or however many people. But you always see these small rooms where they're putting together a bunch, and we're impressed, but that isn't really where they're manufacturing them out or putting them together. All that other stuff's a secret.
Yeah,
Again.
well, a lot of the companies OEM what they build.
Redline, how you
OEM
doing?
out of somebody else. So like, Sovol is basically a Creality printer with a direct drive, right? It is. They actually are only a marketing company, but they do it very well, right? And they because they had direct drive, it's really really good. But there's other companies out there as well that OEM their parts, they are manufacturing out to somebody else, and
Yeah.
they reuse
Hey,
it.
Dave from Printed Solid. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Dave.
Doing good. How you doing?
Thanks
Hey.
for stopping in.
Hey, doing Dave.
You guys got a lot of good sales going on today.
Yeah.
Anything when you get a breath there, anything you want to talk about, you're welcome to tell everybody about it and generate more business.
Yeah. Well, everything's on sale.
Short and sweet.
Just short and sweet, right? No, we in the past we've normally done like sales where we like go through every individual product and just do like $10, $50, whatever type of off things. And I wanted to keep things simple for people so they kind of browse and bought stuff. And I did a 10, a 15, a 20, a 25, and a 30% off category. And just did it all that way.
Yeah.
And my poor guys, they've had one guy start at 6 a.m. this morning. He didn't leave till 5. Another guy come in at 8, didn't leave till 6. And the rest of the crew all came in and did full days. And then myself, and not a single bit of slow up. It's just been insane the whole day.
Are you running a sale all weekend? You're running a sale today, tomorrow, and Thursday.
Well, we do Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, and then Why the Hell Not Sunday, and then Cyber Monday. So we'll end it Monday at midnight.
Yeah, I seen over on Twitter, Loyal Moses showed what he had in his shopping cart. It's like, holy smokes, he must be Santa Claus.
Yeah, he did a little number on us, but thankfully we had a lot ready. But man, everybody else did a number on us too. UPS truck came by 3 times. They sent 3 dedicated trucks just for us today.
Wow.
So, but yeah. So UPS came 3 times and post office came once. And we're going to go back in tomorrow and do all day tomorrow, just shipping and everything like that.
Yeah, I'm waiting on my taxes from back in February. $1,400 the government hasn't paid me yet, so I don't get to enjoy any of the holiday sales this year. I'll have to wait till next year. So
I have to save it up for next year.
Yeah.
You can buy gift cards. No, but it's been fun. We try to, or I try to treat Black Friday as my my fun day. It's not really necessarily for us to, make a ton of money. We do it more just because it's just fun. It's I gotta tell you, most of my guys, they were sitting home at night. Our web engine actually shows us all the people that are on the website and all the back end stuff. So it's kind of fun to watch everyone start to come to the website at midnight and see the numbers climb up and see the orders roll in and see the map of the world start lighting up with all the orders. It's kind of fun to just sit back and enjoy.
And as an IT guy, it's one way of testing your IT systems.
Yep. And I just sit there and say, it's the one kind of back end thing that I appreciate because it's fun. But if you kind of get too far into the tech of it, you sit there and go, that's not right.
You got a lot of stock on filament, or are you making filament every day, every week? How often do you have to make a bunch of filament?
We're always making filaments. I've got a full-timer and a part-timer that's their sole job is just to make filaments. So we're running about 60 to 70 hours a week making filament alone. And they've been prepping all year to try and get enough filament on the shelf, and somehow everyone still managed to clear us out. But it's kind of fun. Our shelves were very well stocked, and still I'd say we're about half empty.
Mm-hmm.
So not bad for the first day. Got 3 more days to go.
If you're available, maybe one of my future weekly live streams where I have a special guest on, you could come on and maybe do a tour, a walk around your shop, and whatever you want to talk about whenever you're available.
Absolutely, I got good Wi-Fi there. I can do that.
Okay. I know I seen like 6 or 8 months ago you were showing your whole process, but I don't remember what stream that was on. But that was quite a while back.
That was work hockey.
Okay.
That was back when I was the only one running the line. So I'd probably say the first 6 months of the year I was the only guy running the line. And then we hired someone in June as things started to speed up and got them going, and hired another person about a month ago.
Yeah, I had ZYLTECH on last week. A couple people from ZYLTECH, and they were showing a lot of pictures and what they do down in Texas. And they've asked me in the past, how can they generate more business? I said, well, be more like Dave from Printed Solid. Be out in the community constantly, whether it's giveaways or doing this, doing that. Always have Printed Solid in the back of their mind, or ZYLTECH. You need to interact more with people.
Yeah, I mean, there's the companies. I mean, ZYLTECH does a good job of being, very economical with everything. But I'll tell you, my secret is that I'm really horrible at business, and I actually just really like 3D printing. So that's the thing. So when I get out there in the community, a lot of that is I have to vicariously live through all of you because I don't have time anymore. Generally, as soon as I log off from the streams or whatever, I go sit in QuickBooks and deal with accounting software and IT and website issues and advertising junk, which is boring.
Yeah, I'm retired, and I don't know where the days go. I mean, I'm 56. I'm retired. I wake up. I watched Mandalorian a bit ago. Now I'm going to stream for a couple hours, and it's going to be dark in a little bit. It's like, wow, the day's almost gone again. They just fly by.
Well, my average days go is that I'll generally go in the office about 9 or 10. I'm usually the last one to come in there. Let's see.
Yeah, I bumped your mic down a little bit on my end, but it was just slightly loud.
Gotcha. Yeah, but let me do a little tweak here. Maybe that'll help a little bit. And there we go. It might be a little bit better. But no, my average day is like 9 to 5. Is that I'll usually be in the shop, and then I go home and I do my business accounting ordering junk till about midnight, and then about 3 a.m. I set up everything for the next morning, and then do it all over again.
Yeah, running a small business is no fun. It's nonstop.
Oh yeah, it's nonstop, and especially when you start having employees.
Oh, okay. I'm sitting there reading Llama's comment on YouTube. He's in the green room. I didn't even see him. Hey, Llama.
There he is.
I have to scroll down. I didn't see you down there.
That's all right. I was just listening anyways.
How's it going?
Not sure I want to be next to Dave, that Printed Solid guy that has all that awesome crap, and he's overselling everybody else.
It's my fun day.
I got no money.
I will tell you this, and it's kind of funny. Remember Matthew Gordon? He started up Printed Solid.
Yeah, I used to
Well,
talk to him a lot.
he sold me his shares last year, and he still has logins for it. And he was online watching all the sales last night and today. So
Did he completely sell out to you? I thought he kept some of it and just let you run it.
No. It's all mine. It's all mine.
Cool.
Originally it was
maker boxes, though, right?
He still keeps MakerBox. So He keeps MakerBox. That's his hobby job, which is nice for him. He has a really great, day job where he can actually work and get a 401k and, have time off, and then does MakerBox for fun on the weekends.
Yeah, I reposted your link. I think it was yesterday or the day before about Black Friday. I reposted it in a couple places.
So, which is good. But yeah, I appreciate that. But yeah, that's our fun, and
Yeah, I like Matt. He was cool.
He's still around. He's still a good guy. Because when he broke MakerBox off, he had to go get his own building and set up as a separate business and all that stuff. And so he went shopping for another building, and he bought the building across the driveway from me. So he moved 10 feet away. While I was getting set up, he was stealing my Wi-Fi. I was so close.
How many employees do you have when this COVID thing wasn't going on? Typically,
I average about 5 or 6 employees. So it's a very lean operation. You know, people that have a lot more, I have like 5 or 6 really great people, and they kind of handle everything. So I got one guy. He's just focused on shipping. He's amazing. You know, I trip over. He's just so good at it. He's the funny story because he started the job without even knowing what a 3D printer was, and that poor sucker's already got 3 printers. He's built his own. He's building a switch wire right now. He's all in now. It's his new hobby. So I caught another one.
In a normal world, before all this happened, didn't you do tours occasionally, or might have had schools come in and you explain things to them? Or
normally, we actually have a real store. Once I got the company from Matt, I got another building so I could actually have a bigger showroom and a classroom and the extrusion line and have more people in. And then, as soon as I'm all set up and I have the showroom all pretty and all that stuff, they go, and here's COVID.
oh wow,
So, and we normally have monthly meetups too. So we normally do monthly meetups for everybody, not during COVID, of course.
here's the only COVID I got at my house right here.
There you go. Now, the one fun thing we're doing, and I'll promote this just because it's a fun thing. Printed Solid, since the beginning, has always had a white night. A white elephant party or a Christmas exchange. So every year we all get together and we do the white elephant gift exchange. But our theme or trick was it had to be 3D printed. So, and but this year, since of COVID, we can't actually have it in person. So I set the event up to be virtual. So now you don't have to be local to get involved with it. If you ship your white elephant present to me, and I'm going to have a live stream on the 13th, and we're going to do the white elephant exchange between all the people that send in their presents and have a little fun time with that.
Cool.
So now it can be anybody. But we did have to put one additional rule on it. It can't be larger than 24 by 24 by 24. Just because I have to pay for shipping for all these things. I don't want to ship Carl's, 12-foot long sword.
24
Yeah,
by
I
24
invited
by
Carl to
24.
join us today, but he says he's busy. He can't stop by.
So, but no, definitely check it out. And the more I have, the more fun it always is fun because if you don't know, I don't know if anybody's familiar with the White Elephant Gift Exchange, but the general idea is that you give
Hey, Dave.
Yep. But you'll give
Phone's ringing.
people will pick a random box and then they open it and then show everybody what they got, and then what they'll do is you can steal it. So when it's your turn, you get to steal it or open another box, and you can steal something up to 3 times, which is kind of fun. So you get, the person with the best print usually gets their print stolen 3 times at the event. So it's very entertaining to see it happen and have it go down.
Amanda's got a question. Anybody ever print a hydroponic starter garden, a simple pump activator? I'm not sure.
I'll be right back.
No, I've never tried. It has to be something tiered to allow the water to be pumped in the top for it to trickle down, and then the pump to get it again at the bottom to recycle it back up again. So if you like, there's probably designs out there on Thingiverse or somewhere, but it would have to be a tiered garden with holes in the bottom of each tier. So the small water pump would bring the water to the top. It would trickle down and then recycle it through the system again. But it's possible, but it's
You need to run into is sealing it for water.
Well, yeah, with that. That's easy enough to do because you can do that with a clear top coat.
A top coat.
But you'd have to put filters on your water filter because, on the water pump system, because you have to filter out the water to make sure the water is clean and no debris gets caught as you recycle it with the pump underneath.
Yep.
Hey, Dave, back in the day, didn't you do a lot of commercials before you were into all this 3D printing before? You were into commercials and different types of things in the past?
Well, in a past life, I was a broadcast engineer, but I also did a lot of webcasting and web streaming. I was part of G4 TV and Tech TV and Revision 3 and all those places. And
Cool.
the Discovery Channel. I built, I did all the YouTube studios out in LA, so things like that.
I remember Tech TV. I used to watch that.
Good old times. And as far as doing clear coat, I'd probably say PLA or PETG, unless you're doing, direct sun, then I would suggest ASA.
Yeah. Amanda's asking about filament type. If it's going to be indoors, it can be PLA. If it's going to be outdoors, it should be PETG because it'll last longer. But a top coat, you could buy clear top coat, either satin or gloss finish, at Home Depot or any hardware store, and you put on one or two light coats, and that will seal it up. Or if you really want to go at it, you get a bottle of resin for 3D printing, and paint that inside the parts and expose it to UV light. I leave it out in the sun or whatever, and that resin will go hard and seal it solid.
Exactly. Now, the other thing with PETG is that it tends to not be UV resistant, so the color will fade a little bit faster than ASA.
Yeah, but that's why you cover it with the. That's why you paint it with a darker colored
top coat. Yeah.
Printed resin, and then it'll go hard, and then it won't matter.
That'll definitely help.
Yeah.
But indoors PLA absolutely. Outdoors it might fade a little, but a good clear coat will do good. A good top coat.
Depends on your area. I've got gutter extensions made out of PLA that I made as a joke. Figured they'd melt in the sun. They've been out there like 4 or 5 years now. They're fine.
So that's what we needed a belt printer for, to print new gutters for our home on top. Seamless gutters.
Yeah, I'm seriously considering finding someone with a belt printer and saying, hey, I need some, because all my leaf guards, I got like the screen just to keep the leaves out of the gutters in my garage. It's like, can you print me a 40-foot long leaf guard?
Now, Chris Polinsky, I don't know if you follow him, but he's been putting PLA prints out in his garden all like the last 3 years or so. So he kind of has like the test prints in the outdoors.
It's got to be
Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah, I muted him.
Yeah.
I got to run, Jerry.
Thank you, Tim, for coming by. I appreciate it.
No problem. Got to meet a customer. Can I make a quick plug?
Sure, no problem. Everybody can plug whatever you want.
I'm building a CR6SC on Sunday live on my channel. Sunday evening.
Share the link.
Yeah, put the link in. You're very welcome to.
I'll put a link in for my channel on the YouTube broadcast of this as soon as I click off here. I'll do that. Good.
Just be careful. Don't let out the magic smoke.
Okay. No magic smoke.
No magic smoke.
No, that's
you get
a
lot
long
of views with magic smoke.
Long
you
story.
Magic smoke, you get lots of views.
Take care, Zed, man.
Talk to you later.
Have fun.
Yeah.
I'm going to share it.
The 6XEs had lots of problem with magic smoke escaping, so.
And here we are, ZYLTECH website.
What the hell happened?
Anybody watching, if you want some great deals, go over to printedsolid.com.
Advertising for D.
All kinds of goodies. And I'm not an affiliate for Printed Solid. I don't think they even have affiliates. There's some cool stickers.
I think he actually does, doesn't he? Do you have affiliates, Dave?
Well, we used to have affiliates, but the problem is everyone has signed up for it, only bought stuff for themselves. Never actually did affiliate linking, and then applied it to their own purchases. And I'm like, well, that's kind of defeating the purpose.
Yeah.
I'm an affiliate for TH3D, ZYLTECH, and a few other big companies. And ZYLTECH, I actually make money every month, and it's kind of nice when people use my link a lot. And TH3D, I get credits.
That's always a good thing. But yeah, we had a hard time with that. It's way too many abusers.
Yeah, I repost them every Thursday. I post them on regular Facebook, my group, and Twitter. And then every Thursday, like clockwork, I post my affiliates one day a week. And yeah, it usually works out pretty good.
Old Curmudgeon has a question there, Jerry.
What? Oh,
Old Curmudgeon has a question. I think NEMA 17s are too weak. I think they are too weak for. They're only good for 3D printers when there's no torque.
the ones I have on my CNC are real tall. I don't know if they're NEMA 17s or not, but they're
23s.
23s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. If you're going to use,
doesn't have the torque. A 23 are normally geared on the inside, and they do have the torque to be able to pull the cutting bit through the material. Whereas a 17 on a 3D printer, there's no torque, so they don't need a lot of power behind them.
NEMA 17 and belts are good for lasers and 3D printers only.
Yeah, where there's no torque involved. Yes.
Yep. CNCs, nope, no good.
Dave,
Now-
I unmuted you. You were real noisy, so I had you on mute.
Now, if you ever want to combine,
Yeah, my garage door, I was bringing in my trash can, and that
Oh,
was
it's a
really
garage
loud.
door,
I'm
okay.
sorry.
if you ever want to combine a 3D printer and a CNC in one machine, which is a bad idea, but if you ever do, you have to go NEMA 23 motors, because 23s will run a printer. They're overkill, but they'll work.
Do you have an MP CNC, Liam?
No, I'm getting a 3018.
Okay.
I don't have space for a big CNC. I'd have to kick cars out of my garage to do that. And with the snow we get, we're not like you, Jerry. We get snow up here. So with the snow we get, somewhere to park a car in winter is a good idea.
Yeah, it's chilly out today, but what I hate about Las Vegas, it's all dirt. And a lot of you guys live around the country or the world, and it's all green and trees. It's like, wow. Here I walk outside and I see dirt, rocks, it's not dirt.
Jerry, what do you call cold?
Well, it's chilly. I mean, I can go outside and go
It's a
check
very
the mail
relative
down the street,
term.
my hands aren't freezing. It's chilly. It's not cold. It's chilly.
Well, we get in January or February, we've seen negative 35, negative 36.
yeah.
So that's cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, we Delaware, as much as it is sort of north in America, it tends to be, how should I put it? We rarely get below 0,
Yeah.
and that's pretty spoilable.
We don't really get below 0 much up here either. We do for like a week or two.
And that's about it.
And it's usually at night when the sun's down.
Yep.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
but
last time it was like
That
56
week
out.
in
My
January,
wife says it's 59 right now, I guess.
yeah, 59 for us would be a hot day.
Yeah. Well, in Vegas, almost year round, you can wear shorts most of the time. There's a few weeks here and there where it's cold, but most of the time it's decent out. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
And
50.
It hasn't rained here in like
59, that's swimming weather.
For
Oh,
us,
that's
it's
way swimming.
43 degrees right now outside, and it's going to drop. It's cloudy, so it'll drop a little, but not by an awful lot today. We've already had snow in the last few weeks.
We don't have a humidity problem. In the summertime, it's dry heat. You can go stand in the shade and you're not sweating. Where, everywhere else we got humid, you're dripping sweat in the house. I hate that, but I don't have that problem here.
I got dinner's in the oven and you can hear the alarm going off, so it must be done.
Thank you very much for stopping by, Llama.
Later, guys.
Take care, man.
Figure, have a good one.
Yeah, we get we've had feet of snow in winter. It varies from year to year, but we've had a couple of feet of. We've had in some areas you get 3 inches of snow. Schools shut down. Here it has to be 6 inches or greater before they even consider shutting down schools.
We've had individual snows that were almost 2 feet.
Yeah, same here. I'm in Michigan, so we get that here also.
Yeah.
Dave's in Iowa. David, where were you from?
I'm originally from Kentucky, so I've been fortunate. We kind of shut down after 6 inches.
Where are you at? You're in Kentucky now?
Now I'm in Delaware, which is about 8 inches when we shut down.
okay.
It's still pretty lame.
All right.
Yeah.
We don't get the good stuff.
We're 35 degrees right now. And I'm in a T-shirt out here in my garage. It's probably 50 out in the garage. And that feels really warm.
So, but this year I'm looking at the weather, and we'll be lucky if we get below 32 all winter long.
Do you ever have time to print, or are you so busy with your company you can't enjoy yourself?
Well, I hired Tony Nunez, which he just sits there and plays with printers all day for me. So I'll take printers in there and say, all right, here's your job. Figure out this and then tell me how much fun it is. But every once in a while, I do get to build a printer. The last one I built was a Boron V0, which is just an adorable printer. I didn't have a practical use for it. I just wanted to build it because I thought it was adorable. It's about, give or take, 10 inches by 10 inches by 10 inches. So for the whole printer,
Okay, it's not small.
it's
And
very small.
I was
It
going to
used to
mail
be
you a
14
sticker.
bucks.
All my stickers are printed solid. And I forgot to do it, but when you came on, it reminded me I haven't sent you one of my stickers, so I'll mail you one.
Yeah, Jerry's stickers have pride of place here in mine.
So, but yeah. So, but I occasionally 3D print, but I do have to vicariously live through other people lately. I'd probably say like the last 3 or 4 months, I've maybe only printed maybe 20 or 30 spools. So, a little lighter than normal.
Here's
So, yeah,
here's
most of the
something I
time,
print.
mean,
Here's
large
something I built.
blocks.
Here's Jerry. Here's something I built a long time ago. A real long bed.
Oh, that's a long bed slinger. I like that.
Yeah, I built that a
Why
long time.
carriages tied together?
Back when you couldn't, they didn't have no kits that you could put together. Everybody's got. I got a video here of a printer. Everybody's got. Now they got them BL touches. Tried to find a file I built. It was just a sensor that would come down and probe the bed.
Amanda, if you order for printed solid, they'll send you a sticker. At least I got stickers. I ordered a couple rolls of filament, and I got some stickers.
Yeah, here's an old printer I built a long time ago. It's got a probe on it. That's now they got BL touches and stuff. The technology changed.
It's kind of funny. It's the same technology. They just repackaged it.
Yeah,
So how accurate was that micro switch?
it was right on the money. Right on the money. It did a nice. It did a nice grid. It did a nice grid. That's back when they didn't have the Marlin they got nowadays. I had to go into Marlin and do all the programming and crap.
Sure.
But that was right on the money. I proved it to somebody. I made the bed purposely 1/8 of an inch off, and then I printed a part. It printed it nice.
I did one of my Pets fangs that had that built into it.
Okay.
It probed from instead of using like a piezo, it had a inductive probe that was built right into a movable carriage.
Sure.
And it was accurate as hell right on the nozzle. The nozzle was the point, but I'm working on the one now that's similar to the one that Llama was talking about, where it actually does a 4 points on the bed that actually have they're conductive. So the nozzle itself makes the contact.
That's Nightbot have that.
You know how I got around that years ago, because now they got these proxies in that, a sonic sensor. You can get that within a 1/10 of a millimeter.
Hey Jim, how you doing?
Yeah, I couldn't get any of my sonics to be that accurate. Repeatedly.
I was cheating though, because I had a real expensive sonic sensor off of a machine down at work. Very accurate.
But the one thing about those
these piezos are really accurate.
Yeah. People don't realize you can build. Well, I took an Arduino board, and above my 3D printers, I have a smoke detector in it. I have a thermal sensor in it, and a spark sensor with the Arduino board. And if any one of them would go off, it would shut down all the printers.
It's a good idea.
Let's see where.
I've actually been proposing something like that to one of the manufacturers to build
these
into the printers.
This is a 500 megahertz.
Yep.
Inductive.
Yep. Is that a Phoenix? Is that a Phoenix?
No, it's made in Italy.
Okay.
And it has a 2 millimeter sensing height, and it works really well.
Yep.
Now, one thing you should consider is Octoprint. They have their enclosure plugin. If you're not familiar with that one, so that one will actually take care. That'll take a smoke detector. That'll take a relay. That'll take heater and cooling for an enclosure, and you can use that for monitoring. So you'll even get a text message if it detects anything out of range.
I didn't know that. I use Octoprint on most of my printers, not all.
Yeah.
No.
But I was talking with one of the manufacturers about, where they have the filament sensor. It wouldn't take an awful lot to add a little unit beside that's an Adreno or something that has those sensors on it. And if it detects smoke, it kills take the printer down.
Yeah, that's what I have. 3 different sensors in it. That's
I got a
what
question.
have to do is replace the normal toggle switch that most printers come with an electronic switch so it could be an actuator that can be turned on and off.
I got a
most
question.
printers come with the normal flick switch, the mechanical switch, and you'd have to change it over to an electronic switch. So it can be that way, then you can remotely power on and off your printer as well.
Has anybody in chat ever used a K40 with Octoprint and Lightburn? Because when I run my K40, my laptop can't handle it, but I got a cord. I figured I'll run it from another room to this PC that I'm on here when I'm running Lightburn or burning something. But has anybody took a Pi with Octoprint or something like that to run Lightburn to talk to their K40? I'm just wondering if anybody's done that out there.
If I let you know how it goes for me when I go there, because I'm going to try it.
Yeah,
Well,
mine is.
we got Navari here and a lot of other people, or possibly Dixon. Have you ever used Octoprint or anything like that?
No, I didn't.
K40 remotely?
It takes such a long time to set that all up. I know, it can be done to many of them, but I got 12 printers, and it depends how much time you got. I gotta get the parts out, so I didn't mess with that. So what I have is I can watch them on my camera, and then I have a plug-in module on each one, so I can control them, turn them off from my camera, and then I have them sensors on there to watch them. But I get the best prints when I do sequential prints or one at a time, and then it pushes it off and starts the next one. Because you get too much, you can tune them in, but you get too much stringing in that when it's jumping around. And I can do it faster with sequential. You're printing one at a time. Then it goes behind and prints the next one and the next one, and it seems to get the best quality.
I will work on. I know a small bit of Python, not much, but I know a little bit of Python. So everything for Octoprint is Python based, right? Everything for the Pi is Python based. So
yep.
And it's only a Linux distro, so I will look into seeing what can be done if I can get it running. I know Lightburn will run on Linux. The only problem is which version of the Pi. I'm guessing the new version of the Pi with the 8 gig of memory, that is the one to run, because that way then Lightburn will have more memory to operate. And the normal Pi 4, like Pi 4B Plus, which is a 4 gig machine, probably won't have enough memory. You'll probably want to go up to the 8 gig version, which is a $70 Pi, but I'll give it a try. I'll let you know.
Yeah.
If I get it
why does Lightburn need so much memory? It's got 2 axes, and it's only controlling the laser at different percentages.
No, it's not about percentages. It also actually does the path and sends signal out of the path, and it has to manage that communication with the laser.
It's got to be doing the reading and writing.
Yeah, so it needs
to be done.
Yeah, because my 40K it runs on just the ramps, an Arduino board in the ramps. Because I was telling Jerry a while back, mine went to heck, so I threw in some stepper motors from the 3D printing and put a ramps in there with an Arduino Mega. Mm-hmm. What is it, 2560 or something? And that's how I run my 40K, because I wasn't going to pay no money. But then I got to have my laptop plugged into it because I'm using laser Gerbil.
Yeah,
and that's the power.
But if you run on a Pi, Lightburn will run on Linux. So in theory, you should be able to get. You might have to work on drivers.
Yeah, right.
There might be generic drivers out there that will work, because that's the biggest issue is the driver communication. But if you have the drivers, the Pi will work, and the Pi draws as much power as an LED light does. A small.
Can that Pi handle all that G code?
It does it on the Octoprint.
Yeah, I use it with all my printers, no problem.
Okay.
Well, most of my printers.
And they're only Pi 3s that Jerry has, not Pi 4s, which are only 1 gig of memory. The new ones are 2, 4, and 8 gig of memory for the newer versions of it out there. And apparently they're coming out with a new version in the spring. They're already talking about it. It's going to have 16 gigs of memory and 8 processors, not 4 processors.
Yeah, I know they have a newer one out there already that says it makes the old one look silly.
Well, that's the 8 gig version, but they are working on a new one. They're working on a brand new one right now as well, which gives it even higher power to make, because they want to. The Pi itself can run like a desktop OS.
Hey Don, how you doing?
But they want to get to the point where the Pi can actually become a full-blown desktop with no performance issues, and upping the processors, because they're running the Atom processor, and upping the memory will fix that. So for $100, you'll get a Pi that is equivalent to a low-end desktop.
Well, how about one of those rock chips? They've got 4 gig, and I'm running Linux on them, and they run faster than shit with Linux.
Well, Linux is very low utilization, yeah.
Yeah, and that's got 4 gig of RAM.
Yeah. I was telling Jerry, I run my telescopes, my astrophotography setups, my imaging, my go-to, my plate solving for my astrophotography, a whole sequence of images throughout the whole night on a Raspberry Pi.
All that stuff will.
That's here.
Yeah, all that stuff will work. The tough part is the drivers and configuring it. That's the catch.
Yeah, but you might get generic drivers that will do that for you. So you'd have to find, there might be already generic drivers out there. And you know what? I know enough people there's enough people out there in the open forums that make stuff, and I've dealt with these guys. There's a chance if you reach out to somebody and say, I need a driver that will talk to this, someone will say, interesting idea. Let me see if I can write you one.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
There's
the ticket.
guys out there who do that all the time, open source. So that's a good thing about the open source, is you can get someone to write it who might consider the idea and might write the driver for you.
Yeah. Years ago, the second Pi, I still have it in a case that I 3D printed, and I stuck it to the back of a TV. I put Linux Mint on there. That operating system is so small, it ran great. Full-blown computer ran great.
You can run a whole OS off a USB stick or an SD card, right?
Yep. That's how I used to repair computers when their operating system went to heck. I stuck in a USB port, and I would boot it with Linux Mint or Ubuntu, and then run around and troubleshoot.
Yep.
Somebody's got an echo.
You know who it is?
I don't know. I think it's Dixon.
Hello.
No?
Not me.
Okay. Yeah, somebody sounded like they were in a bathroom for a minute.
Dave.
No, I got a.
Oh, the other Dave. Okay.
I have to pick
I just muted mine, so I don't know if it went away or not.
Huh.
But yeah, I will see if I can get it working. If I do, I'll let you know. I'll then save the update and I'll send it on to you.
$200, Jerry.
Yeah.
Windows 10.
Cool. What exactly?
Mini PC.
Huh.
Yeah, people ain't really thinking about it, but they say, "Oh, I want to get this mini PC. It's $600. It's so small." Well, look at what your phone is. It's a full blown. It's so powerful. Your phones.
Yeah. There you go.
I said, why don't you go buy a old beater phone for $100? An LG 40. It's an excellent operating system. I said, use that for your camera system. I said, look at the money you save. Oh, that's right. I didn't think of that.
Yep. You can.
So much power.
I'm using that mini right now to stream.
A Toshiba satellite, my laptop. It's got Windows 10 32-bit, and it's slower than hell. It's got 4. I don't know. I don't even understand. It's just really slow. It's got a cellular processor in it. It's really, really slow.
Yeah, but for cameras, for stuff, you can repurpose old phones. They just need to be plugged in over USB anyway, and USB draws no power, so
I took
power. What is it, 2 amps?
Use my other phone. I plugged it in to use it for a webcam, and it got hot and shut off. So
well, maybe because I've run phones on almost nothing, and even a Pi. The Pi only runs like a Pi when it's not busy, when it's just sitting there idle, uses about half an amp. And then when it is busy, I've ran like multiple things off the Pi, cameras and everything, and I've got the power. It draws maybe about 2.5 amps at most.
You want to explain that to old curmudgeon how you use a phone for webcam?
The phone, you can get a free software you install on the phone to turn the phone into a webcam, and you can access it via a website. So you mount your phone, plug in the power to the phone, so it's always powered, and then when you run that application, the phone the phone broadcasts up as under a website, like under its IP address, and then you connect to that from anything and see what the camera is looking at.
Any particular software from a certain site where you could research that and find out more about it?
If you just go to the Play Store, you just say just go webcam, and it will give you you'll get about 50 of them turning up, and whatever's the highest rating is the one you use. And basically, what it gives you is an IP address when you install it and start the service. It tells you the IP address, and you go to another device in your home network on that IP address, and you can see it's like logging into a web page. And you can see here.
So Google using phone as webcam, just Google that and see what pops up.
Well, if it's an Android, go to the Play Store. If it's Apple, you go to the Apple Store and you'll find them, and they're free. There's so many of them out there, and they're free.
Okay, and since that phone is old and not activated, that phone can't go to that website.
No.
Just activate it to Wi-Fi.
If you add on your Wi-Fi, you can do it. You don't.
You just can't have cell service.
Hey, Red Light.
Yep.
How you doing?
I gotta go to work, you guys.
Well, thank you, Dixon.
Hey, Dixon.
Yeah, we'll see you around. Good talking again, all he is.
Thank you.
Have fun. So you guys are talking about all the fancy computers, where I've been on a retro phase lately. So I'll show you.
Well, red light just showed up.
So
That's an old 286, is it?
it's even earlier than that. This is an Amiga 2000.
Wow.
Oh, I've had every Commodore from the VIC 16 or VIC 20 upwards.
Yep. And this is the Amiga 2000 that I had after they did the Amiga buyout. And because in my old days, I did development and stuff like that for the Video Toaster. I also used to work at an Amiga store, training and building these systems out. So that's a whopping 7 megahertz computer.
Sweet.
With 2 megs of RAM.
And a 10 gig hard drive.
And here is my 20 megabyte hard drive.
Yeah, I remember those.
So that's my 20 megabyte hard drive.
Expensive, at least they used to be.
Yeah.
And there's Jesse sleeping over there. But I've been pulling it out and rebuilding it because all the capacitors blew in it and everything like that. So I had to get and rebuild that and redo the power supply. But it's up and running now. I got a few more little tune-ups and things like that I'm doing to it. But I love these cute little ZYLTECH drives. If you've never seen these for the retro guys, this takes and it makes a floppy disk drive that uses a USB stick.
Yeah.
So it's a great way to kind of work with stuff today. And the Amiga only used double-sided, double-density disks, so you could get 800K on one floppy. And that was...
still have Microsoft DOS version 1 on floppy disk.
Nice. So, but yeah, that's been the fun, and that's been my kind of walk down memory lane time for the last couple of months.
Yeah, I've used I had all the Commodores when I was young, so I had the Commodore I had the Sinclair 128 at one point. I had the Commodore VIC 20, the Commodore 64, the 128, all the way up to the Amiga 500.
Nice. Yeah, I did the 64, but then I did all the Amigas after that.
Yeah.
And I'm kicking myself now because the vintage computer market is so insane that, like an Amiga 1200, you bought that for $600 back in the early 90s. Now you'd be lucky if you could find one for $1,500.
Are you kidding
mine
me?
are still working. I don't have them here.
Wow.
They're still in Ireland, and they're all working.
You would make a fortune. You put them on eBay, you'll be super rich because
I'd have
Amiga
to
2000 here
first.
Yeah, this Amiga 2000, I got a steal on it, but they are going for like $800 or $900 a piece with nothing in them.
Really?
Yep.
I've seen some people who revamped the Commodore 64 and they put a higher end computer, but they had the old all-in-one box. Because I used to have the old ribbon cable to the tape drive.
Yep.
Remember those?
So, but no, right now the retro market, it's kind of funny because they take it like classic cars where they literally go out and they try to search and find original stock mint pieces and restore it. I got the CRT tube sitting back there that I just got done rebuilding, sitting on the table back there. But I got that up and running, and so I get a whopping, what was it, 320 by 200 resolution.
Wow.
On my screen.
I've got an old TI 99 with the tape drive. Is it worth anything? Are they?
A couple $100. I mean, Amigas and Apples are going really well right now, especially Amigas.
Yeah.
Especially in America. In Europe, they're all over Europe, but here in America, there were not that many of us Amiga fanboys.
I used to sell them. One of my first jobs just after high school actually was over the Christmas was working for a computer store selling computers and the Amigas and the 64s and on all those, the Ataris. The Atari had something similar to the Amigas, the Atari 500 I think it was called.
Take care, Kenny.
Yeah, the Atari had the 400 and 800 were their two big models.
Yeah, so I used to sell all of those.
And the Atari people, the Amiga people fight all the time. It's so much fun. It's kind of like, Mac versus PC. It's really funny.
Yeah, TK, we'll jump right in and talk. You don't have to type everything.
Yeah, I'm just keeping interacting with everybody else in the chat as well.
I still got all my Commodore 64 stuff. I got the SX64, which is the portable 64.
Yeah, I mean, I
remember those.
Is that SX running?
Yes, it is. I've got I got a lot of the cartridges, like the final cartridge 1, 2, 3. I got Ice Pick. I got all that. I got all that old stuff still.
You want to trade for
I'm in a market for an SX. I'm just saying.
Yeah, if it still works.
Oh, the man of most might trade you a bunch of filament stickers.
I've got tons of floppies, but I haven't actually went through them all. But I got a lot of original games too. I used to have every game.
Right, it's finding them.
Yeah.
How you doing, buddy? How's it going?
Do you remember when
I'll put it this way. For entertainment, just the keyboard cable on the SX I've seen go for $200.
Did you hear that, Red Light?
Yeah, I heard him. I just want to go get a hard drive. Show Dave. This is an old hard drive right here.
That looks like an old Winchester.
Oh, that's a full height 5 1/4.
Yeah, that's a Winchester.
One. It's an older one.
Yep.
Red Light, is that the Winchester?
That's an old Seagate right there. I'm not sure what brand this one is.
You keep a lot of those, don't you? You don't destroy all of them. That way you
have.
have.
These right here, I'll probably hang on for a while, but eventually I'll get rid of them.
Yeah, those. I used to remember working at Dell Computers, and we. No, not Dell. Sorry, Wang Computers, right? And I was with Wang, and we used to have those because they used to be big mainframe systems mostly, and they used to have those Winchesters. And there was one of them that was down in shipping that was laying there forever, and people were kicking it around and knocking it about and whatever. So I decided one day, I said, look, that's been there for 12 months, and it's been stomped on and rolled over and everything. I plugged it in, and it still worked. They don't make them like that anymore. Nowadays, they break.
Those big drives, the arms literally fluttered so much that when you turn them off, the actual heads would physically park and get locked in place and last forever.
Because if you didn't, you get head slap on the discs. So when they were
you get a crash. Yeah.
Yeah. What would happen is you hit them if they were running, and you even tap them like that, the heads would vibrate and hit the discs and damage the disc.
Yep.
And Seagate 2 gig. That's an old 2 gig hard drive.
I have some of the old Seagates as well. Yeah. But it's. Yeah, the head slap on those old ones was really bad. I remember at one time when I later went to Dell after when I was with Wang, I went to Dell Computers. There was a Western Digital hard drive that the head used to get stuck in the park position because you used to park
out here.
And the cure was to take the hard drive out when it came into support, like when the support guys got it. You take the hard drive out, turn it to the edge, and go and plug it in, and it worked fine after that. You just tapped it on the table to release the heads.
Who's that? The extra camera there.
Oh, hey, yeah, that's me.
Oh, autograph. Okay.
I had to go up into the attic and pull out my Unix serial terminal. So this is actually just a serial terminal. It's got dip switches on the back of it that you set your baud speed for, and it's literally just a serial machine.
Yeah, they were dumb terminals. Yeah.
Cool.
This guy, this is like an Atari computer thing. It's got a keyboard and everything.
That's 400 or 800? 400.
400.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's sad I can identify it that quick. But yeah, 400.
Yeah, I got one of them. I got one of these guys.
Oh, yeah?
Texas Instruments, something or other.
The PI is nice.
I got a collection of this old junk.
Well,
I mean,
right now, retro computers are worth a fortune, so you either hang on to them or sell them.
Oh, I got the, what else do I have here?
Your video paused.
Yeah, you froze.
Yeah, hold on.
I think you're too far away from the Wi-Fi.
All right.
Oh, PI hip drive, yeah.
I actually got the original tape for that.
But yeah, Mickey, RetroPie is a great way to emulate that stuff.
It is. I have
25 cents. Look at that. 25 cents.
Nice. But there's a problem with emulating the stuff. It's kind of like, ooh, that's the Nintendo VR thing. Virtual Boy. There it is.
Cool.
Got that thing. What else do I have? Toshiba Liberta.
One of their biggest failures.
This thing was really
that's the old. That's one of the original things.
What state do you live in, Autodrop?
Connecticut.
Connecticut. Anybody close to Connecticut and give him $50? I bet you let him clean out his attic.
I don't know where I sell some of this stuff, but this little guy was a Pentium 1. And this thing, it was the size of a VHS. I could fit it in my pocket. It had the pictures on the back of the screen.
Oh yeah.
I remember my first laptop I ever got. You needed to be built like Arnie Schwarzenegger to carry it around.
Yeah, when you had the 10-kilogram laptop, and that was considered really light for back then.
Yeah, and the mobile phone that you had to hold with two hands.
I got some other good stuff. I got.
Do you guys
like?
Do you guys remember these?
Plasma.
SideQuest.
Optical drives. Digital optical drives.
I've still got. Back when I had my graphic arts business, I had to work in between a Mac and a PC, and they didn't have programs that would let you use one computer. So I had to transfer everything from one to the other. So I started building everything SCSI in my PCs. So I still have I still have DAT drives. I still have all my SCSI 3 cards.
Yeah.
Still use them.
I still have one of those.
They're still fast.
I have DAT tapes, and I have those digital discs still, and I have the drive as well that are still working.
My favorite tool on the 16 bits was the Action Replay.
Yep.
Remember the card for that?
The Action Replay, yeah.
Literally ran it through, and they stored everything in RAM, so you could kind of hit repeat on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was handy for finding, like, extra cache and stuff like that in games.
IBM,
but I used to use
IBM,
it for ripping out the graphics and everything.
Nice. Is this stuff you've owned for years, Autodrop, or you just pick it up here and there?
I've had this one for many years because I actually used to play Duke Nukem on here.
Oh yeah,
Duke 3D, yeah.
This thing had like the screen was red and black. It was the weirdest screen, and it actually has. I guess it's like a gas tube, but it's a flat screen.
Oh.
So I think it's like an early plasma kind of thing, and it had like this floppy drive which pops up. Oh yeah.
Oh, cool.
I used one of the 7090s, the old IBM 7090 mainframes. Remember those? I've actually used one of those.
That's a really cool one. That's a cool looking. I haven't seen that layout on IBM. So that's pretty cool.
You want to talk about an old laptop? Here's a Zenith 286. That's an old laptop right there.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Oh God! And we would have killed to have one of those
Like something
back in the day.
And that's old. I think that's old. That's probably pre-nickel cadmium. That's probably still lead acid on the battery.
Yeah. Or did anyone of you ever use the Tandem series systems? If you're into IT, the old non-stop Tandem systems.
Tandy?
No, Tandem. Tandem was later on bought by Compaq, but it was a non-stop series systems. The old Tandem systems were big, heavy mainframes. They like one Tandem unit, like one of the Tandem systems, could probably run all of the ATMs in the state. Just one, because it was all parallel processing. I mean, there was high-speed backplanes between each of these boxes. They had something like 40 processor cores per box, and they had a huge backplane between them to interconnecting everything. And they'd run a job on one machine, and it would talk memory-wise to another machine. So all the tasks were duplicated, not run.
Old IBM.
Every task was duplicated over there. I had one of those, the XPIs. Wow. I had those. I worked at Dell when we were building those.
Yeah, it took me a while to figure out how to make one person big but not kick everybody off the screen. I guess I got to put them up in the top left corner and then hit the right button.
But the Tandems were fantastic. Like they, even to this very day, I believe they do. Dell runs their manufacturing process on a Tandem non-stop system. They use the new K12s or the newer version than the K12s today, but they used to have the old system and they used to use a Tandem for the production. And they used to use a weird version of SQL called Squelchy. Is the version of SQL they used to run on it. I used to run one of those for Dell.
I've had a problem my whole life with, I used to have yard sales all the time. We're always selling something, and anything I used to have, like a lot of people, it gets old, you sell it, and you move on. I should have kept everything, but I didn't.
Well, you know what's funny about this? All the retro computers, now I'm, kind of going back and reliving my youth and all that stuff with them. And everyone else is too, so they're all worth a fortune. You know that probably in 10 or 20 years, there's going to be people out there going, I'm looking for an old retro Prusa MK2 with original hardware, and no one's going to find it anywhere.
Yep.
Hey, Red Light, I was asking Dave about tours. Do you ever do tours here in your garage?
If you want one, I'll give you one. It looks like NASA out here, but if you want to look, I'll show you. Hang on, give me a minute. Let me take this out.
I know years ago here in Vegas, there was an old car junkyard down on Nellis Boulevard off of Bonanza, and it had a capsule, a NASA capsule sitting out there in the junkyard, like the kind you see splashed down in the ocean.
Well, these computers over here has been out here since I've lived here for about 3 years now. All this stuff over here is old. It's been here for about 3 years. And then back here is just full of computer stuff, boxes, and it goes on the other side of that wall. Bunch of computer stuff over there. And then underneath here is all laptops down there. That whole thing down there is full of laptops.
Wow.
And then I got stuff up in the ceiling full, like a lot of the old original Xbox. I'll turn them into retro machines. I'll put a bigger hard drive in them and put all the ROMs on it when I have time, but I don't never have time anymore. Between this, 3D printing, and my original job, I'm pretty busy. And I install security cameras too on the side.
Does your wife work?
Yeah, she works at Red Lobster.
Okay, I was gonna say if she didn't work, maybe she could help you try to get something going on the website, and you could sell things.
No, she wants paid big money. I told her she gets all my money anyways.
Yeah.
I didn't let her drink on the job. She still wants more money.
I'm trying to get my wife involved in maybe doing an Etsy store or something, and she could run the ad, post it, and I'd take pictures, but she doesn't want to get involved in anything I do. So I have zero help on any of my hobbies with anything.
I pretty much just strip everything down. I'll keep some stuff if it's really old or Like I got some 1 gig RAM I hang on to because some people still run them really old computers. They don't want to upgrade them, so I'll hang on to them. So I get a lot of this stuff from the computer store here in town. I recycle all his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I get a lot of stuff from work when people junk it. So I stay busy.
Right, guys, I'm gonna have to leave you to it. I need to get some food.
All right. Well, thank you for stopping by, TK.
TK.
I'll still be listening to the stream, but I'm gonna be pigging out.
All right. Thank you.
Take care.
Have a good one. Catch you again.
Have a good one.
All the Commodore stuff's inside in the basement, though. I don't keep it out here.
There you go.
It's heated down there and everything, so I keep it all down there. That's where all my file servers and all that stuff is, down in the basement.
I gotta have like 30 copies of Oregon Trail for the original. What is it? The Apple IIe. Because I ever took a computer lab of them off of the town. They had like a town yard sale, which they would keep stuff in the dump that was still good, and they would let a charity come in and like run it every week. But I picked up the whole computer lab for $20. So good. And
oh shit! How you doing?
Come in and like run it every week. I picked up the whole computer lab for $20.
Jerry, you'll have to bump his volume. I can't hear him.
Sasha, turn off YouTube. We can hear it, so I muted your mic. But give me a thumbs up when you got it. Turn off YouTube. We can hear it, so I muted your mic.
Oh shit, my bad.
You got it?
How about now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
That's an old Dell. What is it? You're muted again.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, he muted himself. I didn't do it. You're muted. Sasha, unmute yourself. He'll get it.
Bottom left menu in StreamYard.
There you go. Now you got it. All right, that's good. What do you got going on?
All right.
There you
I
go.
think I'm good now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. While you guys are showing relics, I collect some stuff too. Look at this thing, right?
Look at that.
Little side release.
Yeah.
Pre-netbook Dell.
One hand.
Does that have a trackball on it?
So this is an old satellite. Look at that guy. Right?
Wow. How does the keyboard sound? That's the most important bit.
It has to click.
I can't hear anything. Yeah, I don't know. I don't hear anything now.
Can you hear us?
What I do?
Yeah, we can hear you.
No, he does not hear us.
It's not.
Yeah, we can hear you. I can hear you.
How do I mute my YouTube?
No, it's not. No, you have your head.
Yeah,
funny.
You probably have your head.
Yeah, Sasha, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Sasha?
Hears? I don't think he can.
He can't hear us, but anyway. We could hear you a minute ago, Sasha, but you couldn't hear us. And right now you got your mic muted and I can't hear a thing you're saying. I don't read lips. That's why in all the football games when they talk, they do this so that there's somebody on the other side ain't reading lips. Tell them
Okay. Can you hear me without an echo?
That's why in all the football
Yes.
games they talk, so that there's somebody on the other side ain't reading lips. Tell them
Yeah, I don't know. I got StreamYard up, but I can't hear it.
You probably have another window open with YouTube or something like that in the background that you need to kill.
Yeah, close all your other windows other than StreamYard.
Okay, how about now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So good.
All right, we're good. Look at that. Figured it
Yeah,
out.
I've been live before doing that, and it's driving me nuts. I'm live, and I'm hearing myself talk, and I'm like,
Somebody's got a TV in the back.
So
Yeah,
how
she
does
has.
that keyboard sound? That's the most
That's
important.
not a. That's my other monitor. I'm just.
Okay.
It's not on right now, but actually, I'm playing around. You're gonna see more of me in this little Jetson Nano thing I just got here. Yeah, we're gonna start. Well, I won't say it now, but there's a lot of projects with AI that I'm gonna do.
How does that keyboard sound?
When you touch the keys, does it click? Like,
Okay, yeah, back to this. So,
yeah, that'll work.
right. So this, and it still powers on, right? And here's some attachments. Maybe you guys will like these. Old school leather case.
Oh, yeah, that is stylish.
your wife's probably thinking, why are these guys getting excited about this stuff?
Oh, she knows. She's
It's the person that holds the laptop.
right. You might as well call it that at the time, right? Man, like, look at these attachments. This was the old power supply. Right?
Do you have a mouse with a ball?
Oh, no trackball. But, oh, wait, yes, I do. Hold on. You're right. Mouse with the ball. It is a reveal.
Microsoft mouse.
Right? This will probably be in the 1990s museum as classic, probably, right? It's already retro. But yeah, I heard you guys talking about people looking for stuff like that. Yes, they do.
I just want to see modern gamers have the game with actual mice that have balls in them, because that's a totally different experience. Like, you have to get good at taking the little disc out and pulling the ball out and then scraping all the hair and the
yes
bits off of it.
I used to take rubbing alcohol and do that.
You want to talk about a mouse that's got a ball in it? This has got the old connect. It ain't like the USB type or the PS2 connector. It's the one like you have at Atari.
Oh, he's got a serial.
Just a regular serial. Yeah.
Yeah, that's an old mouse.
DB6.
Woo. Look, so here's another one. Right, got two of these guys. You ready?
DB9.
Here's this old guy right here. Got one of these and this one. It's another
2.5-inch floppy.
What about this guy? You remember these?
Oh, I do. SD card, or not? Yeah, I remember those. I said, like, for modems and stuff.
Hey, PCM, CIA.
Yeah, PCM, CIA cards. Yeah.
Your mic's not working for your face. You're an emoji. Are you dressed? Are your hair combed?
Here's another mouse. Here's a Belkin mouse too. Look, Belkin when they were doing things back in the day. Just regular, some more floppies. This is Ethernet drivers here. Let's get
Mike still has some 3.5-inch floppies in the spare cabinet. There he is. Okay.
Yeah. I have one of the old IBM keyboards that when you touch the keys.
Can't hear you.
I have one of the old IBM keyboards, and when you touch the keys, even softly, it clicks because they have switches underneath, micro switches.
Oh, I have a bunch. I have a ton of those.
Yeah.
Do you see this?
Oh, that's your modem.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy, right? Like, why don't they make these now?
I have one of the ones.
They still make those.
They do.
I have one of the ones you have to get your phone, put it on it, and Velcro on your phone to make the dial-up.
So like a SIP trunk, but just
300 baud.
Okay, yeah. All right. So let's get to this thing.
Hey, here you go. Here's Windows 95 on floppy.
He's got the whole rack.
What was it? 15 drives? 15.
And here's another USB floppy drive you can use.
Yeah.
This is Windows 95 on floppy.
Look at it.
What was it? 15 discs or 20 discs, wasn't it? I think it was 20 discs, Windows 95.
I think it was 20 discs. Dude.
Yeah, I had, as I said earlier on, I have DOS version 1 on floppy disk, and it was on 4 discs.
We lost
DOS
that
version 1.
Yeah, there's 25 discs here.
I have Windows 3.1 on floppy disk as well.
Floppy in the front. This was one of Compact's pretty good machines. There's a expansion port thing here. So another hard drive, just hot swappable drives back in the 80s.
They weren't hot swap drives. They were not hot swap.
This was the 70s model, I believe.
Yeah, They're not hot swap. You could take them out, but they were never hot swap on.
Oh, right, you're right. Not hot swap, right? My
Hot
bad.
swap came into the servers in the what was it, in the mid 90s. Is when the hot swap drives. They were SCSI hard drives and they were hot swap. They started introducing them for servers.
Right. Look at this thing, dude. It's like, man, this is crazy.
Nice.
And look, it's even got the old little mouse ball that used to be on some of those.
I've hated those.
I thought they were kind of cool, you know, like mouse.
I know.
Dude,
And
like,
even today, they still have them on laptops today. And that little mouse nipple thing that you had to move around, I always hated it. I always went with an external mouse because of that thing.
he said he was ready to start. All right, hey, we got half the museum here. I got some other stuff too, man. Just so much.
But isn't there? There's an old computer in Ann Arbor here in Michigan. They have an old computer museum showing all the old style computers. It's on the campus of U of M, and but they don't own it, but it's actually on their campus, and it's really, really old computers going way back, and they have all of the old IBM machines and everything listed out there, and the old Macs.
Here you go.
Have you guys ever heard of CorelDRAW?
Yep.
Yeah.
I was a beta tester for CorelDRAW 1.
It comes with the K40s.
CorelDRAW?
They include CorelDRAW with the K40 on CD.
It was 1980, 89 maybe?
Yeah. It was great. It worked really well.
I didn't see it till 2017. That's when I got into
this was back when CorelDRAW owned itself. It wasn't part of
other companies.
Yeah, I remember it.
I know back when Adobe was Macromedia at the time. Yeah, I remember that.
Yes.
I was going back and forth between those two companies. Corel was a little easier to use at the time.
I still have.
That's funny. That's funny you should say that. Macromedia was incredible. Was an incredible company.
Or how about this?
Oh, look at it.
The Pinnacle Studio version 11, and it comes with a green screen that you can actually hang up a green screen if you want to.
Wow.
I love Pinnacle.
Now it's version 25 or something like that. This is version 11. And
I've got 23.
Everything is in there. The discs have never been opened.
Oh yeah, this dude needs a museum. It's never been opened, bro.
And its discs are in there.
Oh my.
And it'll still install on Windows.
All right, I got some old floppies right here. Remember these big old dudes?
5 1/4.
5 1/4.
Oh no, they're
those are the 12s.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's from a IBM 4361 processor problem finder.
Well, when I was with Wang Computers, we were still shipping reel-to-reels. Wang Computers used to have the reel-to-reel, and they were very sensitive. You could never tip them in any way. The big cabinets, they had the reel-to-reel tapes on them. And when we shipped them, you used to have tilt meters on the cabinet.
Take care, Amanda.
Because if it tilted too much, and they actually had to go back in and retest the whole system, it had to be kept almost perfectly upright. You couldn't ship them otherwise.
TK thought we were losing the stream or something. I'm not sure what was going on, but everything's fine at my house.
I'm still here. So yeah, that's how long ago I was with Wang. They were still making reel-to-reel systems.
I know a few weeks ago, YouTube went down for a couple hours. Everything was dead worldwide, I think. At least I couldn't see nothing anywhere.
I can't think of a more apocalyptic event.
Yeah, really.
Right? Oh my gosh. What are we going to do?
For us streamers, for those of us who stream, YouTube going down or Facebook streaming going down is apocalyptic. But for anybody who's at home because of all this lockdown and so on, Netflix going down is the end of the universe.
Yeah.
No, Disney right now. Disney. Is,
Well, I have them all because I don't have normal TV. Even though I have it in my area, I don't use it.
What's normal TV?
Three channels.
What's normal TV?
I'd say turn the antenna on the roof, but I guess you can still move it during.
We don't even have that in our house.
You guys remember this?
What's that?
Bling, bling. Oh, they used to send you those things with the little games and trials on them and stuff. Like,
oh, that's the emulator.
That's the emulator. Yes. Yes. I love this.
I know it was games. I remember seeing that. I had one of those. Like
that was like this quasi-legal PlayStation 1 emulator or something, or PlayStation 2.
That's exactly that. Yeah, that's exactly it. It actually ran old Nintendo games and ran just about every game possible.
Did anyone here ever use punch cards?
I've seen those.
I used paper tape.
I got a punch card reader.
I used paper tape in 1974.
Well, I was 4 years old then.
I wasn't even born.
That was we worked off. We ran BASIC, and it ran on a compiler. And if you wrote a code that had an infinite loop, it would bomb the compiler. The compiler was attached to a mainframe off-site. So if you bomb the compiler, it had dip switches on the front of the compiler. And so every line of code was a set of dip switches, and then you hit enter.
Yeah.
And if you bombed the compiler, you had to enter about 600 lines of code. So if the instructor said that if you bomb the compiler, you had to program it after school. So it would usually take us about, 4 or 5 hours to reset the compiler. And that was dip switches, enter, dip switches, enter. And then after you ran that, you ran paper tape, and it was just a piece of code that made sure that the compiler was correct.
Yeah.
And then you could program on it again.
Well, I have had access to, and I've used the IBM 7090 that's at NASA. Now that was used to compute the trip of Apollo.
That was the original Apollo area.
Oh, I have that. I have Red Hat. Yeah.
Oh, 6.0
version 1.
Yeah.
6.0.
That's disc one of it. Yeah, but I've actually used the 7090s that NASA has because they still have it. It's still there. And because I've been down to Kennedy. I do outreach for NASA. I'm a geek, serious science nerd, and I do outreach for NASA. So I've gone down there, and I've had access to their system, and we walk through with their engineers. There's about 1 or 2 people down there who still know how it works.
Why would they need to keep that kind of computer around? I mean, it's not like they're going to have to fake
because of Apollo. They keep it there for historical sakes. Like what the 7090 can do, your cell phone can do 10 times faster today, right? But it was all logic circuits, the whole thing, and it was a pain in the butt. And then they used to use tape, and then later added punch cards to it, and eventually they replaced it with cell phones, right? It's super cool to actually see the thing work, and it's as noisy. I mean, you can hear this thing clanking and crunching stuff in the background, and what your cell phone can calculate today, like this thing would take hours to do this to come up with the same computation, but you can do it in moments on your cell phone.
You
guys were
there. I'm going to read that. Legal wise, they have to keep those machines.
Yeah, I remember that.
The Y2K survival kit.
I still have all my old CDs from back in the day.
So back to Mike on that, why they keep that machinery around. Even gaming companies, they have, like, let's say you make toys. There's copyright laws that for some reason, companies have to keep things that are logged 20, 30, 40 years in case someone else comes out with it so that they can prove this was mine originally. So they're keeping that there so that someone like me doesn't just come up and say, hey.
Yeah, well, but the old 7090s was not there because of that. The 7090 was actually it's an IBM machine. So NASA didn't design it. IBM designed it.
I was just doing a sly joke because I was saying you're not going to have to fake the moon landing again.
Right?
Oh, you're one of those. Oh no.
No.
This guy's got a workstation. Wow.
Yeah, I have some of those.
And then,
All right, guys. I need to get out of here.
All right, Dave.
Thank you for coming by. I appreciate it, Dave.
It was fun.
See you, Dave.
.com and buy lots of stuff. David's got a lot of great deals the next 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
PrintIsCall.com, everybody. Thank you very much.
Take care. Yeah, he started this whole conversation about this retro stuff. Yeah, but it's really cool to work in that, to see that kind of stuff. But the funny part about it is, even though they had the computer there, people corrected it. They had to go through the numbers to validate them because they didn't trust the computer.
ZYLTECH, dude.
Hello, whoever's watching on Facebook. Up above on Facebook, where you have the description, will say StreamYard/Facebook. If you click that, when you type in chat, we'll see your name. And if you'd like to come in and join, I'll put a link here in the description. On Facebook, you can't see it.
Yeah, but all those old systems, I know I'm showing my age, but still.
You're younger than me.
Not by much.
I think the only one here older than me is probably Dave.
Jerry, there's only 6 years between you and I.
How old are you?
I'm 50.
Oh, okay.
So I'm probably the youngest one here.
I don't know. It's either you or Sasha. I think it's a toss-up.
21, right?
I'm 21 and a bit. The bit's my own business.
Sasha, how old are you?
40.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, Mike, you are the baby.
21.
Mike is the baby then, for sure.
He's the baby, yeah.
Everybody's got me beat here. All you guys with your opinions and your walkers and
I'm not that far gone.
Hey, look, I'm not even gonna lie. With the way technology is going, I'm not even gonna fight it. I'm just gonna be robotic.
Windows 98 upgrade. Oh, you mean SC
upgrade?
Better.
We can get back into that old Minesweeper and pinball that they used to have on there.
That was really good, actually.
Yeah, the space pinball, right?
Win 98 was one of their best.
I think so, actually.
And the worst one, do you know what I have? I actually have to go dig it out. It's in a room somewhere. I have OS2 Warp.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's excellent. You know what I'm impressed with? Someone who has an original Windows Vista disk. That was the shittiest thing ever made.
It was.
Vista was bad.
Windows Vista was great until they actually released it because I was running the beta of it. It was great. I put it on my mother's computer. It worked excellent. There was no problems. They released it. Everything went to crap.
DOS used to have a great program used in DOS called Overview back in the day where it lined up all your directories. It was called Overview. If anybody remembers that, used it only in DOS before Windows. And I loved Overview, but of course,
I didn't know the name of that, but I remember that now that you say the name of that.
Computer now, you can still go to DOS if you didn't know that. Everybody wants to check out DOS. You can still go to a DOS window on Windows 10.
Well, that would be funny to see one of today's kids have to install like Diablo the way we used to in the 90s, where they see.
Oh yeah.
Or who remembers? Who remembers editing an application using what was it called again? Norton Utilities, and bring it up in hex and then edit the app in hex using hex keys.
Okay. I wasted half a lifetime on this game.
Hey, you're not the only one. I left.
That was pretty good until Unreal Tournament came out.
Exactly.
I was never a gamer. I'm more into hardware.
I just bought the new Star Wars game. What's it called? It was half price. I got on Steam.
Was that Space Wizards 3.0 or something? What was that called?
What's that?
Star Wars game.
That new one that came out right
How
now.
about that one, boys?
Oh wow!
Oh, I still have that.
Magic.
I still have that.
Why would they? Well, yeah, at the time, I guess.
That was a great utility back in the day.
Yeah.
You know, a Cronus True Image was the absolute
Cronus.
best.
That dude was like hacker material right there. Well, you can pretty much get in anything with that.
Do you remember when Windows NT used to install in a six fast partition table, and then you had to convert it to NTFS?
Yes.
Well, I worked in Dell at the time, and one of the guys that I worked with in Dell wrote the ability for it was used to be Ghost, but then later became Norton Ghost.
Oh, I have Ghost.
He wrote
Ghost
the
is
ability
great
to partition the OS or partition the drive directly to NTFS and install Windows NT directly to an NTFS partition. And Microsoft and Dell owned the copyright because he wrote it while working for Dell. He wrote it for Ghost to be able to do that, and then later on, Dell or Microsoft pay royalty now to Dell because of that, because they built it into their OS.
Norton Ghost was really awesome. They had this thing where you could take an image of your computer before you install the program, and then take an image of it after you install the program.
That was
and then you could run one installer, which would do all the things that it would need to do to install the program. And that was the absolute best thing ever.
That was called Systif.
Yeah, whatever it was, it worked excellent.
The company I work for.
There you go, macro.
And that's a paid version, man. That was $400, I think, when I bought it.
Yeah.
I worked for Norton, was later bought by Symantec, right?
Yeah.
And so Symantec utilities and Symantec antivirus and all this kind of stuff, right? The company I worked for, I actually worked for Symantec, and then they split us off into a different company. And I'm still with that company today, but we actually were the company that owned all of that, and still do today, because now Symantec is gone, and Symantec has been bought by what's the name of their Symantec as a company is gone today. It's no longer existing. It's now owned by somebody else.
Jerry, what's that you're spraying on there?
This is a base for my Ecto 1. I built to 250%. Whenever I get the car done, I got to flip it upside down and work on the electronics. This will be the stand for it.
Okay. But you're using that activation stuff, right? The glue activator, is that what you're spraying?
Yeah, 2P10.
2B10.
2P10.
What is that CA stuff that that's in super glue or whatever?
It's just on wood trim, pretty much anything and everything. Super glue and then a spray activator. I've been buying this for years.
And that's almost like the baking soda, right? Because you could set up.
I've been trying to.
I tried the baking soda one time and I accidentally got it on my thumb and it burned like hell. But yeah, baking soda.
Oh yeah, it heats up
really fast.
You should try the other stuff. You can get ones now that you don't have to use that spray on. You put it on and you shine a UV light on it and it hardens the glue instantly.
Oh, that stuff is
No, there's good stuff out there. Or you could use if you have 3D printer resin, like you have a resin printer, you could paint it with resin and actually shine the UV light and it'll harden.
I have 3D. I have some 3D glue, but it dries up really fast in the bottle if you don't use it. And they make it in a little tube like the tester. You squeeze it out, but the minute you start squeezing, it just keeps running and running. So you got to hurry and put the cap on. It makes a mess.
Yeah, use your resin. Use your resin with a paintbrush, a small little paintbrush, an artist one. Paint it on. Put them together and UV it, and it's done.
I've been using this.
Are you saying on PLA?
Baking soda.
On anything.
I've never tried resin on PLA.
Oh, well, it'll work on anything.
Okay.
You just use the resin. You paint on the resin onto it, put the two parts together, and shine a hand UV lamp, a 405 nanometer UV light on it, and it will instantly harden like it does, like with a normal, like a UV printer.
Yeah, I put this in NetFab and cut it because my Hypercube is 400 by 400 by 500. It wouldn't quite fit on the build plate, and I figured, well, sure, I can print it this way, but if I want to race 2 rolls of film support, so I don't want to do that. So I just cut it in NetFab into 4 pieces, threw it all together, no supports, and printed it real quick overnight. at 80 millimeters a second at 0.28 layer height, and 5% infill. My layers are like 644. It'll work fine.
Yeah, but that's the way to do. That's the way to do it. Use the UV resin, and if you have a handheld UV light, just shine it on it, and it will harden up instantly.
Yeah, I've got a UV light.
Mike, what's that, Mike?
What?
Is that English printer?
Oh, no, don't worry about this. Keep on. I want to hear about this this thingamajig, this base.
No, I'm done with the base. I'm good.
Yeah, so this is an iFactory 3D. This is the other one that's on Kickstarter right now. And
that's the one that we questioned all the extra parts because it looked like it was super cheap.
You know what? It is actually it's kind of nice actually. So they sent me one for free. So obviously, we'll take whatever I say with a grain of salt here. But like these rails here, this is I think it's an aluminum or steel piece, and it has two round bars embedded in the sides of it, like pressed in, and then there are steel wheels on the sides here. Okay, and this thing has no play whatsoever.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And they have the wheels on both sides, and
so like a rail.
I got my beard stuck in here, and it was not pleasant. Like this thing zipped around, and it ripped it out, and smushed the hair into like a streak on this rail.
Oh wow. Go into the ER with your machine to attach to your face.
So the hardest part about this machine was the belt assembly, because the belt, I think that they have to tweak it up a little bit, and I think they're coming out with new pieces for the sides on how it like mounts to the sides here, because the front needs to be like stationary, and the back needs to be adjustable so that you can tension it. And it's kind of a pain in the ass right now. But I expect that when they actually like ship printers, that will be resolved.
What is the belt made out of?
This one is made out of, I think it's nylon, but I don't think this is the final belt, right?
Yeah, because the Creality one is nylon. They talked about carbon fiber, but it was too expensive. And the problem I have with belt printers is there's flexure in the bed when they're printing, and I've seen other people doing prints, and there's flexure in the bed, and when you print in a certain area, it actually lifts the print. And so you need a.
I've been printing on this, and depending on how well you have the belt tensioned, you don't get any of that. And I always print on a raft anyway, because I print on like a 2-layer thick raft, so that I get actually a smooth bottom on my print. I don't want to have this this texture, because there's a certain texture that it has. Let me see.
Well, the other problem with those textures is, textures is
I see that
printing stuff material like PLA. It'll be great, but if you go into PETG or nylons or anything like that,
you can't print nylon on it, because
you can't print PETG in it either, because it'll bond into those impressions, and it'll be a nightmare to get it off. It will damage the bed.
I think I heard from one of the people who has one of the beta units that they were printing PETG on it or something. I don't know.
I'd be wary of PETG on that.
I'm printing PLA only, and it's been working pretty well.
Oh yeah, PLA, because the PLA won't bond to the base. It won't stick in. PETG is notorious for not releasing.
Yeah, and I can actually, I got it set up now so that I can actually print from the auto drop cloud. That's kind of the reason that I got the machine and I'm playing with it, is because we have cloud-based slicing and billing, which makes it so you can automate these into a print farm or into a library pretty easily.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's working. It's working pretty well. I've been pretty happy with it. The ones that they're actually going to ship, they're actually going to have like a Raspberry Pi built into it, so you'll be able to. And I think they're going to ship with Octoprint on it, and like a touchscreen. So
I want one.
It's on Kickstarter right now.
Yeah, they are live on Kickstarter, and they say that they'll be able to ship before Christmas.
How much
Well,
are they
probably
Kickstarter?
it's in March.
So this is the iFactory 3D, right?
I know. I'm going to say Corelli is saying March.
They have a reward level, right? That if you sponsor it at that level, you can get it before Christmas. I think it's like $1,200, but
wow.
it's more expensive than the normal tiers.
Yeah.
But if you really want it that bad, you can get it. I expect that the instructions will get a lot better. Ooh, what's that?
Some new. It's a headphone thing. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm making a new logo for my chain. And I'm gonna put this thing in my chain so I can play music out of it, right?
Oh,
and a lot of guys on the streets, you know, they're into music and making rap stuff, blah blah blah. So it'll be an open source. Oh yeah, right. Of course, but yeah, just little things like this. I'm getting asked by guys to make instead of giving the tape to say they meet Jay-Z, they want to have something spectacular to give to a producer, and so I'm working on. I just found this on Adafruit, and I was like, it can't be that simple that I can get music to just come out of something, and it's got a little screen on it too. So,
well, you can buy an MP3 player, those cheap MP3 players for like $1.50 from China.
Yeah, but what if you want to we can do things, but I'm not electronically technical to be like, if it's not labeled like this, I don't know where power goes. I don't know where to put the in outs. I'm like 9 + 9. Siri, what is it? But if you want a 3D printer, your computer, or something electronic, I can figure that out. Like,
hey Matt, how you doing?
Hey Matt. And
hey everybody. Can you guys hear me all right?
Yep.
This is I'm gonna attach this. Now here's the catch. Because along with this guy, I've got another thing from Adafruit that it's called Braincraft.
Mm-hmm.
So this has a little screen, and you can machine learn on this. So what I want with this pirate radio and this is something like Bose speaker system, where after you play your music so much, it finds music you want. And there's things on GitHub where I can kind of put these together and start that, where hopefully this becomes my teaching outlet as well. Like I can then broadcast my class streaming to you, but it's got a lot of work. These are just two cool new little things. It's gonna be real nice though when it's hanging in my chain and just plays music. Like that's gonna be a cool part.
Nice.
Hey, anytime you start mixing, programming, and stuff, is always fun.
It is, man. It's like you guys have a lot of talent that you just do, and that's why I like coming here, because I don't understand half of it, but I go back and look up the words. And if I could get more of my friends to do this, I would almost guarantee a lot of crime would just disappear because we would be too occupied.
Yeah, nerds don't get into trouble, do they?
Idle hands. That's a cool thing. Like we all have learned. Like some of us have been printing for a long time. Some of them have not. Some of us understand the technologies and mechanics and so on. Some and the software. Some don't. But it's all about learning and adding and continuously improving. Right? That's what we do.
Right.
And that's fun for us. Like if it works, like the old adage, if it works, don't fix it. Sorry, we're going to fix it no matter what.
Some more, right? Oh, we fixed it. Let's fix it some more.
And
right?
even if we break it, we'll figure out how to fix it again. So that's part of the fun of it, right?
Hey Matt, what have you been working on? What do you got going on today?
Just finished actually hot off the press. This is a picture. Let me.
Matt is a lithuanian king.
You're spotlight. You're on the spotlight there. So, anything you want to show us?
Yeah. Wait a second.
All right.
Just around my camera.
Ooh, that thing.
Jesus. Say, bro, what are your what speed are you printing that at?
45.
45.
Everything is 45 almost. Even travel.
Now, what thickness do you have that at? Like point what point when it asks for your walls and your border, like what setting is that stuff at? I don't know if I'm saying it right, but
walls are roughly 4 mil. So
For-
I
that's
do 100% infill.
you're using 100% infill on those?
You
You
need
have
to
to
for
do
lithophane.
You
Yeah.
have to?
Yeah, for lithophane, it has to be 100% info.
I know that Luban has software for doing lithophanes, and there was another program I used a few years ago you can download for free that does it, but I can't remember the name of the program. But there are
It's litho. It's litho.com.
Okay.
It is.
There's
He's charging
one.
for it.
There's a
He's
few of them.
charging
There's
for that.
actually there's one of them actually where you can do color lithophane. So you print it in white, and then you print a multicolored card as well on normal paper, and you stick that to the back of it, and when the light shines through it, it makes your lithophane colored.
It's transparent paper. We do that with. I use Luban, Jerry. So that's
No, not
why I
transparent
can-
paper.
No, this is just a
normal
regular
white
piece of paper.
It's
Normal-
regular paper.
Yeah, and the light shines through that, and then it projects the colors onto the lithophane, and the lithophane actually gets colored.
Okay, I didn't know they were using. We were using like
You
not
can
real
use
transparent paper, but like a lighter paper, so that you didn't see the paper glued on the back.
Normal paper you use in your photocopier is all you use.
Yeah, you don't even have to actually glue it on. You could just kind of you could put it on the edges because it'll hold in the middle.
You just clamp it in there in some way, but actually you get a color image out of it, so you can do that. And you can either just do the plain, or it'll give you the option to download. It gives you a zip file, and in the zip file you have your STL, and as well as that, you also have a JPEG that you print out, and that JPEG is the one you cut and put behind the lithophane.
Hey Matt, what are you using to do your lithophanes? What software you got?
Pura, and I use litho.com.
Litho.com. Yeah, that's the other site.
Yeah.
Okay. That's who I started with. They do have some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, I started out with 3D Rock, but 3D
Okay.
Rock is a little bit unsecure website, and people try to get to me. You know what I mean? Over the computer.
Color lithophane website is itslitho.com.
That's the one, yeah.
Or lithophanemaker.com as well.
Yeah.
Lithophane maker?
Yeah, lithophanemaker.com, and they'll generate the color backing that you actually print out in your inkjet or DeskJet or whatever color printer you have at home, and that is based on the size of your lithophane and the shape of your lithophane. They actually make it for you.
Okay.
And it looks weird when you print it out. It doesn't look like an image. It's all colors and blotches and weird. It doesn't really look like what you're looking for, what you expect to see. But when you put it behind the lithophane, it looks really good.
I got one here.
Oh.
See if I can get So I'm working on a touch lamp.
It's too bright.
Too bright.
It's too bright. Yeah.
Yeah. There we go. There.
Oh.
There. A little bit. There.
There we go.
All right,
There.
here,
Yeah.
maybe behind it. You say? There
So
you go.
behind it, sides all in one print.
It's 4-side. No, I actually use 3D glue and put them together on the sides. It's empty.
All right.
Yeah. When it comes to gluing, stuff, I just cheat and I use a clear resin, and I just UV light it and it's done. Because it dries instantly. That's what I do with mine.
I've got a heart somewhere. Let me find a heart.
If you rub it with rough sandpaper where they're joined, just rub that area. It makes it bond better, and then there's a bit of 3D printing resin.
I'll try that.
Or super glue always works as well. Super glue is really good.
If you got a big part, that light can't shine down into the middle of the print, so it may not bond as well on the inside since the light can't hit that area.
Yeah, but you don't mind that. Like it's about bonding the edges. It really doesn't bond inside anyway. It bonds on the edges mostly.
Heart?
Yeah, those heart shapes are really nice. Like them. But
No, the
only
light
Luban
shining
does
behind
them.
it. Yeah, I can't see it. No, the light's not coming through.
Let me cut this off. Hold on.
Oh, no. With lithophane, you have to have a certain light.
Yeah, the phone light is too bright.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Too much.
Yeah, no. It can. It has to be up inside. And the phone light is too bright.
I think I might have an answer for that. Let me see here.
Oh, somebody's got Windows.
Hey, John Mack, how you doing? You want to stop in and hang out? I haven't seen you on a live stream in a long time.
Yeah, John Mack.
No, too bright. Okay.
Okay.
It's okay.
But yeah,
But don't
it's
worry. You can send us post some pictures maybe on if it's okay with Terry.
Yeah,
on the
post
website
pictures would
and
be
have a
cool.
look.
I got you.
Thank you. But I lost a half shape. I wish I can do that, but I'm not there yet.
Yeah, but Matt does a whole pile of lithophane. I mean, he's got. I've seen a lot of his stuff. We've been chatting online for a while through Facebook, and he does a lot of really nice lithos.
So this is my daughter. Maybe this one will be nice.
That one.
No. Can't see. We can see that. I can see the indentation. No, it's too bright.
I see the screen is reflecting too. That's another thing.
Yeah, but your
Yeah.
LED light is too bright, I think.
It's tough.
We can tell it's something there, you just can't make out what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, like right there, we can see it's something.
It's a person, I think, but I can't really see.
Oh, they're kind of, yeah, there you go. Kind of, sort of. Looks like a baby.
Yeah, it's a baby. Yeah.
Your daughter or
But these little things like this are some of the good ones. Maybe I could do this. There we go.
Yeah, that
That
works.
works.
Oh,
That works better.
Gene Hackman.
Really
No,
Wonka
not
the
Gene Hackman. What's his name?
Factory.
Somebody wearing a top hat?
Yeah, it's Charlie.
Willy
in the
Wonka.
Chocolate Factory.
Willy Wonka, yeah.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah, that would work a lot better.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, you need more diffused light than an LED screen.
So I've been putting these things from Amazon. They're like you get 6 of them for $7. And you just take this off and 20mm hole, and you got $15 lithophane right there.
It's a nightlight.
Cool.
Yeah, just that easy. And it comes. Amazon sells them with their own dimmers, so you can stick them in the hallway.
Daddy, where's the bathroom? We'll look for Willy Wonka. That's where the bathroom is.
And here's this.
The
The
Europeans are not
lithophane
that well different.
Say again.
The European light sockets are way different as from the American light socket, and we
Okay.
have 2.9 mil. You have 2 mil. Not 2 mil. Sorry, 2 centimeters. You have that's 20 mil, and I have 2.9 mil here.
Okay.
Well, you guys use deadly electricity if somebody
Oh,
accidentally.
they sure do, bro. Like
In
220.
the U.S., 120 is bad enough because you get a little, you feel it. But you guys use that stuff that's super dangerous. It'll kill you.
It'll connect to it. That's what theirs does. It like draws you into the power. And 220 is too. I'm like, that's washer and dryer for American use.
Where do you live, Matt?
UK, England.
Okay.
Between Manchester and Birmingham. Little town called Stoke-on-Trent.
Oh, I know Stoke-on-Trent. Yeah. I've been there.
Yeah.
The only place
Famous
I've ever
for
been
both
other
of
than
them.
the U.S. is Hawaii, but that's still in the U.S., but it's over water. So I've been to Hawaii once.
I've covered the
love
whole northern
Hawaii.
hemisphere.
That's a long walk.
Yeah.
I've been
covered every country in the northern hemisphere.
I hear you, Mike. You're crazy.
I remember Hawaii. I was only like maybe 7 years old, 8 years. That was a great time.
Yeah, but I know my work allowed me to travel a lot.
Yeah,
So I was living in Germany, but I traveled all over Europe for work and South Africa, and then I was living in Singapore, traveling all over Asia.
Cool. RoboCop.
Yeah. Does it fit?
No, this is actually for a client that it's just going to be a statue for him. He's not going to actually wear it. He's going to put it in front of his store, like a mechanic store.
Nice.
All
It's
of
my
you made a
first.
business out of it.
I'm working on that. Yes,
You know,
good luck.
Sasha, I'm trying to find somewhere to sell. Etsy, sure, everybody's heard of Etsy, but they got like a million fees, and you got to give free shipping and do this and do that. What's the good alternative?
I'm using Etsy, and I'll give you some pointers on my learning experience. At first, I did have some help, and it changed. So if you're going to do Etsy, there's really no other alternative than you getting your own website and paying for advertising. Etsy is in everyone's mouth, and especially during the holidays. Like, it is that, and Pinterest is the go-to thing. Now, how do you get your stuff sold? Well, Etsy charged me for, I just had someone buy a Godfall PS5 sword, like Etsy charged me $30 for them having someone click it. Okay, so once you look at paying for advertising, that is the main thing. Doesn't really matter who's going to see it and who's going to get it out there. Now, here's a catch. As soon as I put a bunch of stuff on my Etsy, I just kept filling it up. My traffic went through the roof. I went from 2 people a day to 80 people a day looking at it. It's almost as if Etsy is promoting it in the background to see on their own. You know, like, okay, you have a lot of product now. Let's see who may want your product.
Yeah.
Well, it probably just comes because people searches more often. And then the more often people click on it, the more often they show it to people.
Well, it's definitely something to do with how many products you have listed puts you in a different category. That we've proven that one.
Well, and I have a couple hundred of individual things. I don't have like I'm going to sell 10 or 20 of this or that. I got a whole bunch of 1111 models, for instance. Now, as I get into lasers, which I am not there yet. I got one. I'm working on it. I can do stuff where I might have a repeat business, or I can sell a whole bunch of this, or this, hundreds, thousands, however many, 10, a few at a time. But as far as for models, some are painted, some aren't. Things I'm able to ship, I could sell the one model, but I'm not going to go out and reprint. I'm going to sell one of this or one of that, you know.
I think Etsy is your best bet. And here's the catch. Also, use your keywords. All 13 of those keywords are very important. That's where most of my demographic is coming from. When I started going back on every product, and it's not keywords like we think. It's keywords that the buyers use. Like, yeah, I have this lithophane, but no one's going to know lithophane who really wants it. So holiday gift, Christmas something, like those are the keywords that are going to get this sold while I'm sitting up here like, it's a lithophane. They told me sell it as a lithophane. Now I'm in the lithophane. That doesn't work.
Christmas picture, something like that.
Holiday office. Like, I don't speak the sales lingo. I'm using other people's work, and I'm like, well, what are the keywords on this that are getting?
My wife, she knows nothing about 3D printing. If you were going to search for this, what would you type in?
There you go. Though I would pay to have someone like that go through my Etsy. I really would, because.
Now, I have a website called 3dhp.net, but obviously no one's ever heard of it, about it. So even if I could take payments and money, which I could set that up for additional fee, no one will ever see it. I'd have to direct everybody. Now, I can direct everybody right now to me just on social media, but it's the 3D printing people aren't going to buy from 3D printing people very often, occasionally, but not very often. So I need the rest of everybody to see me. And I guess I'll just have to fork out that extra money. Do you have to have free shipping, or do they pay for shipping, or how does that work?
I'm doing free shipping just because I know I'm not going to compete with. I've kind of included some of it in my price, going off how much Etsy is taking off every sale. You kind of put that in there, and then
USA only, worldwide.
I'm only doing local right now because shipping outside the United States, this is going to be $80 to ship.
Yeah,
outside, it's ridiculous. This
on Etsy, you can specify only US only.
Okay. Yeah. You can say with the zip codes too, like you want.
2-3 months ago, I was shipping some stuff to America to a foundation charity, and it cost me 40 quid just for 3 pickups. I mean, it was almost a kilo of filament, but
Yes, it's very pricey.
Kilo filament.
I thought about it,
America's
and
very expensive. I'm sorry. Europe is. I can ship here in England for £10 everywhere for 10 kilo.
I've seen people on live streams before say they'll ship anywhere in the world if you win. I'm thinking, you better be careful, buddy, because I had a guy buy a $150 model from me. He lived in England, and it was going to be almost $300 to ship it. And obviously, he's going to say no. I said, "Why can't you tell?" He goes, "Why?" He said, "It's going to be $300 for me to ship it to you."
Exactly.
So, yeah.
But okay, so to answer here's my new thing. It's gonna sound crazy. When they release that new stimulus, I'm gonna spend the whole thing on advertising. Okay, here's why. Like you said, we can all sit here with the greatest skill. Who is gonna know we're doing it? And why don't the people who are in our 3D printers, they have them, they're not really gonna buy from us. There's a company called Claritas.com I've come across. Quite pricey, but you can work with them. They promote people like McDonald's and a lot of the top names. So why would they deal with someone small? Well, they can sit you down and talk with you and say, what kind of demographic do you want? And they're not like Facebook ads. These, if you want 500,000 people to know that you're 3D printing, we'll be realistic. They're ranging from like $2,500 to $5,000 a month. Okay. But from what I've seen from some other people in other states using this, they're turning around doing 17,000, 20,000 a month because of that company.
If I had a store, you think I should call it 3DHP or try to make up something totally different, unrelated to me?
And now I'm not one to comment. I'm going to use my street sense on this. And I'll be straight. Even when I was dealing meth, crack, whatever it was, I didn't want to say that's what it was. And there's cops outside, so I can't advertise that's what I have. But what I can do is give you a name that like trying to get some smoke. You're trying to get something. I don't want to change it into something that'll make you question the product. So I see guys doing, like even me, I'm Sashi the Sage. They're like, well, what does that have to do with 3D printing? They're now asking questions. That's bad in business. I don't want people asking questions when I just want you to buy and not sit there and make me have the car salesman you into my product.
Have the name related to the product you're saying.
Always help. It doesn't matter what you sell.
So if I'm selling laser stuff, pictures, statues, have something statues, something designs, something to get them thinking, okay, it's some kind of a design or it's a project or something. Yeah, okay.
Like 3D printing kind of puts you in 3D printing. So I also fix computers. So when I tell someone without having my suit, or I don't wear those things, but because I'm in richer neighborhoods dressed the way I am, and if I say I do something different, again, they're like, but I thought you said you do 3D printing. Well, don't y'all all do multiple sources of income, but I can't do it? What's going on here, right?
Yeah.
It's people generally just, the name of the thing kind of makes them buy. And I don't know all those tricks of the psychology behind it. I'm just the street dude that has seen that the easier it is for them to see you do all these things, like, again, it's part of the experience you would need. Like, go ahead and put 3D HD on a car business and see how much you get.
I'll look at like 10 other people doing the same thing I want to do and see what they got for names and kind of figure it out by looking at what's already out there to see what's working.
So I want to do more. I don't want to just have 3D printing be my main thing. I want to go into CNC. I want to do laser. So I have to think of a name so that as I'm upcoming, they don't just see me and only want to come to me for 3D printing. I want you to know the whole package is here, but again, I believe that is in the name. Like, that's definitely
to the 3D printing community because I paint. So there's some people that can't paint that might be interested in something I have because it's painted. They like the way it looks. So
yeah,
that would be my in with a lot of people because or they couldn't find that particular model.
How many listings do you have on, like, again, that's another thing we do in the streets. There are so many outlets to let people know for free that people don't do. Are you on Angie's list? Like, there's someone 3D printing, probably looking Craigslist, someone who your painting. Like if I could paint as good as you guys would, I would list a service where I'll paint your models just to see. Like that definitely is something people just have models sitting and you guys could be selling them. But you know, most times
I think I could only list them after I painted them. I'm slow. I'm so slow about getting around to painting things. It would have to be something I already have I'm willing to sell. Because if I got on a bunch of orders to paint this, and this, I don't know when they're going to get done. So I couldn't do that.
I get you. I mean,
No.
again, I'm not
A lot of time.
I'm not really the business one. I'm there's a whole bunch I'm learning. I'm actually watching almost everything, like the Maker's Muse guy. I've been watching him since 2016. I think that dude knows a lot about the industry itself.
Yeah,
More, yeah, Angus. And I've personally never told anyone that that's one of my top dudes. It's just I watch people and what they do, and I don't want to copy them. I need to figure out how can I do what they're doing without stepping on their toes.
It's a big world with a lot of people in it. So if you happen to do something like somebody else, I wouldn't worry about it unless they're your next door neighbor. I wouldn't worry about it. You don't need to do similar things.
Look, there's a lot of people out there who can't art for worth anything. Like I couldn't art to save my life. Okay. I could not go and paint something to make it look pretty. I can design industrial parts, but I cannot go and make pretty things.
Well, people say, what does 3D HP stand for? You could say 3D hobby printing or 3D hobby projects. I usually say 3D hobby projects. That way it can cover a lot of things.
But there's that question. Their question, instead of enjoying your product, that's the street mentality. Instead of just taking the thing and doing it, you're asking me questions. And that, what can you do to minimize that?
Yeah, but what is wrong with questions? Because people are curious and you're trying to, you can lure them actually. This is sort of like bait, you can use it and lure them in. You know, you have to phrase your word right to actually catch them, you know, like to show the interest, you know.
That's why I changed my logo on 3D printing and painting on Facebook and YouTube. It says CNC laser, 3D printing resin, because it covers all those categories. So on my group, you're welcome to post laser. We're trying to get more people to post stuff about laser. More resin stuff has been popping up for a long time. CNC, I have an MP CNC with no firmware on it, but if you want to post your CNC stuff and wood carving, just welcome on my group because it's all about hobbies type stuff.
You see, and they don't, and a lot of people, Jerry, I've seen in your group, some people have lasers. They're not posting it because they're looking at 3D HP. I don't know. I don't want Jerry, you know.
Well, it says laser up in the title now, like in the banner.
Well, you know, people don't read, Jerry. You know they don't read. Come on, they don't read.
They asked you the last 3 questions. Like, well, if you have read what I posted above the picture, there's little things up there. Those are words. If you read the word, that tells you what you're asking me right here.
Exactly. Yes, you would think, and I that's why I love groups. You always see these people, but there's
what's just an old man up to here?
He's making something there.
That's a runout sensor.
That's that invention he was talking about. He has coming out open source. The little he's doing that for somebody. I forget. Oh wait, no, is that
what is this? What is this toggling between?
Looks like
so what this is I'll show you this part later, but this fits in a reloading press. Okay, for reloading bullets. And so when you have a load, it's going to trigger the first toggle.
Okay.
But if you so you get an audible tone. But if you charge it too much, if you double charge it, it hits the second toggle and you get a bright LED. So you will never charge, undercharge or overcharge. You will always get an audible tone here, and you will always get a light there if it's double charged.
Wow,
that's nifty.
And then that fits in a rail. That fits in a rail that's in the back of this. Here, I'll switch over to my other camera.
Is this something you invented, Dave?
Everything I do, I've invented.
I've learned that about him a few times watching him.
Is anybody watching or doesn't know David?
Okay, so here's the part. I've got to redesign the cover, and then this basically fits in a dovetail in the back, and allows me to adjust this up and down inside the device, so I can fine tune this to exact. When you're reloading cartridges, the last thing you want to do is have nothing in the cartridge. That's super dangerous because it sends the bullet and it lodges in your barrel. You also don't want to double charge it because that could explode in your face. So this tool is like, there's the reloader I sell. And you talk about, I know everybody likes to make fun stuff. All I do is make stuff that works. So
hey, I totally get that.
Hey,
I love it.
So that's what this is. That it's just simple parts, very cheap parts. They come up, toggle one, toggle the other. I had this set up on a proximity sensor.
Ooh, what is the name of that sensor you have?
That sensor is super cheap. It's just a standard let go proximity sensor.
Let go proximity?
You can get them on Amazon. They're like $1 a piece. Maybe
just like an infrared distance sensor.
It's an infrared. It's just an infrared sensor.
Infrared sensor.
Jerry, I need to bounce.
All right. Well, thank you, Liam, for coming by. I appreciate it. See you next time.
Take care, guys.
Thank you.
Later.
See you, Liam.
Bye.
This is what it looks like.
Okay. There you go.
Okay.
HW201. There you go. I can find it.
And then you can buy them on Amazon for like, I don't know, $1, and you have to buy them by 6-pack or 12-pack. But the way this was set up originally was it would come through and it would sense it. And that worked really well, but it didn't give me the ability to, I had to run a relay and I had to run sensor wire and everything else. And so doing it analog, all I got to do is run 2 wires to a light, 2 wires to
a spring,
to the buzzer. Here's what the original one looked like. This is on. That's on a relay.
Complicated stuff you had to do there.
Yeah.
Yes, and then it's all 5 volts. So I just run it off of a
USB,
off a dongle, a USB dongle.
But you can't program the new one, right? You can't make it sing different tunes for when you've overloaded or underloaded.
I could.
You just add one of these.
Yeah.
Add one.
But I want to be at a price point. I want to be at a price point that I can make these. Typically, I sell the stuff for about 10 times what I've got into it.
What type of PLA is on something like that?
This is all PET-G.
Okay.
And you can see how nicely my printer is so dialed in.
It's dialed in.
100% infill?
No, that's 40% infill.
Okay.
40 or 50% infill.
Well, yeah,
40%.
Depending on your layers, 40% might be 100%. Yeah.
I was going to ask that. I've seen people doing that. I know you can lay things a certain way. How is that? It's still
actually, you can probably. Can you see the layers there?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
It's 3 layers thick, but it's a 0.6 nozzle.
Okay, so that's pretty.
It's thick walls. It's really thick walls.
Yeah, like I have.
Yeah. So
most of the time, 20% is enough if you have thick walls.
How many walls? When you say thick walls, what is like 4, 5, 6? What are we?
Well, if you calculate by my slicer, those walls are 0.72 millimeters thick per, so it's over 2 millimeters thick walls.
Okay, I got you. I see.
2.2, 2.16.
When I print the model, the next game, I go with 6 top, 4 bottom, 4 side. When I print any model,
that's what I'm pretty much doing, Jay. Same here.
It's like every print you can knock on it, and it's rock hard. You could probably knock somebody out with a model.
Oh, for sure.
Well, when you're designing something that, when you're designing something mechanical that somebody else has to use, you can't always assume they're going to be gentle with it. So you have to over-engineer it, and that's why when I print these, I over-engineer the printing for sure.
Absolutely.
And then this is also the way I design it. It can be printed. It's no supports. There's no supports anywhere in any of this. So I design everything with fillets, with chamfers. I think like even the back here, that's designed on a chamfer. So I can print it like this, and it gives me a nice dovetail, but I never have to worry about it being too thick at the base. And then that's got a nut in it, and then this will, I'll be able to adjust it up and down with that screw.
Hey, Don, Chris, Travis, how you guys doing?
But the new Pets Fang went on for the rail core, went on today, and looks like I got a whole bunch of downloads on it already. So that's kind of cool.
Thingiverse, right?
It's on Thingiverse, yeah.
Awesome.
It's the Evolve for Railcore.
Yeah, anybody that doesn't know, Dave Petzel, the top left corner, is the designer of the Pets Fang over on Thingiverse. And when you guys download from him or anybody else on Thingiverse, throw them $5 here and there, because they would really appreciate it, because so many hours and weeks go into designing a lot of these things.
That looks like something I could put on my refrigerator so I know if the kids are in there. Right?
So you know what? You could do that real easy with one of these proximity sensors.
I swear I see it right there. It looks like you've already built it for me. I know I can put a counter.
No, dude. Yeah.
What you need is an ESP8266 and have it send a text message or call you via Wi-Fi.
Hold on. You guys see you're doing an ESP. What was that, dude?
ESP8266. It's a little chip. It's compatible with the Arduinos. You can get them for $3 to $5 on Amazon, and it's got Wi-Fi built in. Runs at 160 megahertz.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Watch. I will have one. I will get one. That sounds like something I could add to this too. Like, not only can I play my music, I can have it send text too. Man. What? Messages to me? I'm gonna work with that. I like that.
It's great if you want to add Wi-Fi to your toaster or your ceiling fan or whatever.
Wait, what? You can add that thing is all you need to add Wi-Fi to anything you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to power something, obviously you got to hook it up via like a relay or something. But it's just like 5-volt stuff, like little buzzers, or like if you want to like have it turn on LEDs or control something like that, or servo motors, you can easily do it.
All right, so you're saying relay. I see you guys have the how important is the relay, and why can't you just what is that?
Read the screen. Chris Travis has an opinion there about that.
You see them in washers and dryers to send text messages when they're done.
Yeah, that works too. That's a great feature you can have.
That's funny, but they would actually have a washer and dryer to send you a text message when you can hear it go ding from across the house. But okay.
Someone will buy it. Thanks, Chris. I'm going to make one. Someone will buy it. Someone will buy it.
Yeah, somebody's smoke detector went ding a minute ago.
No, I was gonna show Sashi this. Okay, so here's my relay right here. Here's this is the sensor. That's the infrared sensor.
When you say relay, what is the relay doing? Like
the relay isolates the signal from the source or from the load. Okay, so the load can be anything you want. If you want to run on this side of the relay, 250 volts, you can. Okay, basically the relay works as a switch. Okay, and it opens and closes a circuit, so you can run whatever power you want through there. But you can see, can you see my finger?
Yeah.
And I can come, I can set it for sensitivity, and I can make it so that it comes on clear out here if I want. It also will pick up, it'll pick up really, really thin stuff, like, let's see if I can.
Yeah.
So basically that relay, all it's doing is it's opening or closing a circuit.
Yeah,
it's normally open or normally closed, and you can run whatever power. This relay is a 5-volt on the sensor side, but on the relay side of the switch, it's rated at 10 amps, 250 volts AC.
Well, what I'm asking is, I don't use those, right? So is that important that I start using those for safety of my things? Because I'm just running the power straight to, I'll put resistors or something in there based off a chart. But
it depends on what you're doing. If you want to turn on or off an air conditioner, you're going to need a relay. If you're just turning on or off LEDs with a microcontroller, not so much. It's only when you're trying to do something which is going to burn up your chip.
What do you mean, burn up the...
Well, you can't put 120 into an Arduino.
Right.
20 volts will toast that thing.
So you would use a buck converter for that, right?
You could use a buck. Yeah, you could definitely use a buck converter. I use relays when I'm working with two unlike power supplies.
Okay, all right. I see. That's where I'm confused. I'm like, I don't know which is when I'm supposed to use which one. And am I wasting money trying to say, well, use a buck converter for everything for safety? Because I learned from
typically your sensors are not active. They are passive sensors. So they cannot switch power. They cannot run the power to a device. You have to have a relay.
Okay, relay. So
they're active sensors. Some active sensors you can do that, but you see where I've got it plugged in here.
Right.
I don't know. Can you see that plugged in there? Now I can just as easily. Let me grab this.
Oh, you're gonna hook like a desk lamp up to it or something?
No, I can just. I'm gonna get a sound here real quick. Okay, so I can take that off. Now I can just set it up to an inductive probe. Okay, so now, can you see it?
Wow. Okay. Damn. So it's
that was
power regulation.
So and this is an inductive probe, so it's not sensing anything anywhere unless it's metal. It's got to be ferrous metal. Well, not ferrous because it'll work. It'll work for non-ferrous as well.
Like a magnetic field in it.
No, it doesn't. Yeah. Yes. Okay. That's what they're doing, because that's the one I put on my my CR10. That orange inductive sensor there.
Hey, Dave. Sorry about that, Jared. Yeah. So you have to have metal. It has to sense metal, and that's why when I do my beds, I make the beds with metal underneath the polycarbonate.
I changed mine out when I went to Wham Bam beds because the stock inductive sensor or whatever sensor was on it was not it wasn't liking it for some reason. And then as soon as I bought that, it changed, started working. It sensed the magnetic bed for some reason.
You guys are pretty handy with all this stuff, and I'm like scratching my head, but yeah, okay.
Oh no, trust me, dude. I'm just enjoying learning. Trust me, my brain is going the same as yours.
Every day is a new learning process.
Yes. That's my thing. I don't get this kind of energy often. I love it. So when I can, I try to come here, man, because it's an energy you can't buy. I'll say that.
Let me guess, you from Atlanta, somewhere in this region?
Me?
Yeah.
Atlanta? No, I'm in Texas. Now I'm
Texas, all right.
near Dallas. I've never.
Everything's bigger in Texas, bigger and
Yeah,
better.
pretty much. I used to live in Vegas, Jerry. I just got in so much trouble in Vegas, I had to leave.
What part of town in Vegas?
I was spent most of my time in. Well, the latest part was Henderson, but we used to live on Sunrise Mountain out there.
I live in Hollywood and Cary, Sunrise Mountain.
Okay, yeah, I'm actually 86th from that area.
Okay.
I'm no longer allowed. Like, yeah, I ran the streets. You know, Sin City. It's 24 hours.
In the same house for 21 years.
Wow. Okay, so I got to Vegas in 1997. I broke my neck in 1998.
Wow.
And I was there till 28. I learned a lot there because there's so many people coming in. Like, I made friends with the tourist people. That's something people don't realize.
Yeah.
That's where my street business went, right? But I recommend you do that, Jerry. Like, those travel agency guys have people coming in just blowing money left and right.
Mm-hmm.
And if they saw your lithophane stuff, I'm pretty sure they would. They could see it online, but people are like, "Oh, I saw this online, and I didn't know you could make it," and they buy it.
Yeah.
So is Vegas all still shut down with the whole Corona situation?
Yeah, it's like everywhere else.
Yeah, it depends on who you are, though, because believe me, they're still. Vegas does not quit. You guys do not believe anything you hear. There's that Wi-Fi.
We're dying at the restaurant.
That's that little ESP8266 Wi-Fi module. So there's like the module itself is soldered onto a board, and then they have a USB to serial converter, which makes it so that you can plug it into your USB and program it. But you can also buy just the Wi-Fi chip by itself and hook it up with serial pins if you wanted to program it and make it even smaller. Like that little tin can on top with this little black thing sticking out for the antenna is really all you need.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
There's a lot of devices that actually have a header for those.
Yeah, they're pretty awesome. There's a company, Sonos, that sells Wi-Fi controlled like relays and outlet things that you can get, and you can take it apart and you can program it with your own firmware and hook it up to your own cloud stuff so you don't have to go through somebody else to turn on your toaster. I don't trust them people.
He said, I don't trust them.
Hence why I make 3D printers with internet connectivity. So you can trust me, right?
Right?
Yeah, but how do you know you're not working for the government secretly?
No, I would not.
You
You see the beard, the beard, and the conspiracy theories. That means I don't work for the government, right?
I don't know.
Hey,
I mean,
when you got
the
your
government
beard
comes up with a lot of conspiracy
did anybody
theories.
at home take a picture of it?
Politics out.
Oh yeah, this thing rips the hair right out. These are really good rails. I like.
Did you have anybody at home that got a picture of it real quick?
Of what?
Pardon me?
You get your face caught. It
ripped out a couple of hairs. It wasn't like a whole patch.
Yeah.
But it
got
pulled some hair out, and it was not pleasant. I was not happy.
Oh wow.
So this I got this a while ago and just never used it.
A relay module. Yeah, so if you want to turn on a couple of like desk lamps or like a ceiling fan or something that has 120 volts controlling it to turn it on or off, that would be perfect.
You're saying ESP, and I'm realizing I got one of these and I didn't realize the name, right? So you're talking about this thing.
That's a what? A Wemos D1? No, that's a what is that?
I'm trying to get
it. What's the name on that?
I forget. It's not even in the package anymore. This is Wi-Fi 2.
Okay.
Let me get my phone out. Hold on.
Yeah, I've had to do that. Instead of a magnifying glass, I use my phone, take a picture, and I just blow it up big and look at it.
Okay, that's a
I do that a lot lately.
That's a Node MCU. Those are pretty good. That's a little bit bigger than the ones I buy, which are the Wemos D1s. But that one has extra power pins, which are great if you want to just hook it up with DuPont wires to something and not actually have like a circuit board or a breadboard.
So this thing right here would allow me to talk. Man, that's crazy. Okay.
I have a project up on Instructables, which tells you how to make that into a Wi-Fi learning remote, and all you need is like one of the sensors from like the infrared sensors from an old VCR or something, and an LED.
Mike,
and you can just do it from a web browser.
Would you want to post a link, Mike, if you have time?
Yeah, I could post a link to that.
Yeah.
Because I got a bunch of them cheap for. All right, so there's this website called Mouser.com, you guys.
Oh yeah, yep.
And they're right here in America, and they ship all the stuff from pretty much everywhere that you can find by the single or the thousands. Like, it's within 40 minutes, 20, 30 minutes for me. I can drive and go pick it up there. Like, you can actually call it in and go get it. And definitely, I recommend getting like this. Sometimes some of their stuff is competitive, but I find the same thing with a different name by a different model for the cheaper price instead of waiting for AliExpress to send it to me.
Hey, Sasha, this is off the subject, but do you have gray coming in on your goatee? Is that gray coming in?
Oh yeah, I'm 40. Trust me. It's.
I was gonna say, don't dye it. It looks good. I mean, I don't want to. I'm not trying to give another man a compliment, but it looks good. I mean, mine went all white. And when I grew out a beard last year, I had a white beard. It's like, wow, I look like Santa Claus. But yeah, it looks good.
Trust me. Too much maintenance for me. I would never dye it. Never.
Yeah.
You ever had exotic fish?
In the private chat, you can throw it up on the main chat if you like, because I don't think I can share links there. But
I see it here. I got it.
Yeah, that'll allow you to, with just 2 parts, it'll let you hook that up and use it as a learning remote to control your TV. And you know the kids can't lose the remote anymore because everybody just pulls it up on their cell phone and it works.
Dude, this is great.
Yeah, there it is right there on YouTube. It'll pop up in here and I'll throw it on the screen.
An infrared. Me and the kids are making a remote tomorrow, dude. Thank you.
Those ESP things, right? They're kind of weird, right? Because I ordered like 20 of these Wi-Fi modules for Arduino. Because originally what they came flashed with was like this stuff so that you could use it almost like a modem on your Arduino to connect. And I bought them because they were like $6 a piece. And I thought that they mislisted them. I thought they accidentally put like Wi-Fi shields at like, $6 a piece, and I ordered a ton of them. And then I find out for the whole computer in and of themselves, it's better than an Arduino.
Okay, I see. Well, thank you very, very much.
There you go, Chris Travis.
Yeah, man, I got that's my thing. This is life-changing, this technology. I can't make people understand that. Yeah, you guys may have had it, but if I went by your house and you had Encyclopedia Britannica, to me, you were rich. I don't care what else you had in the house. And I loved having access to books like that. Even though I wasn't a book reader, I would be able to find what I wanted in a book that said, from this letter to that letter, you can research this and then go further. But
now it was always so much better than the Encyclopedia Britannica. Had better pictures.
No.
Yeah.
Dude, I can go to Google and ask a question that I could get from the Encyclopedia Britannica, and I could get 500 answers, and 480 of them will be wrong.
That's true.
I had an Encyclopedia Britannica as a kid. My parents, they shelled out a pile of money, and they got this thing to sit on a bookcase. And I read through that, but the World Book encyclopedias from the 80s were so much better. Because if you wanted to learn about nuclear power, you wanted to learn about integrated circuits and any of that stuff, they actually gave you more meat and potatoes than that Britannica. The Britannica had like 2 pages on Christopher Columbus. It's like,
really? Okay. I was just saying, I just meant encyclopedias in general. Now you got to remember, I'm 63 years old.
Oh, I was talking about the World Book Encyclopedia.
So no, check this out. When I was born in 57, my parents in 64 bought our first set of encyclopedias, and they came with extra volumes, and it was volumes of space flight. Now think about it. This is 1964.
Yeah.
So it had everything about Mercury, about Gemini. I still, to this day, I remember, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it.
Those things were great.
They were incredible. And if I go to Google right now or go to the web and try to get information, 90% of it is going to be incorrect.
Well,
here's they had all the information back when they were faking the moon landings, and it was easy for them to do.
Quit it! Will you quit it? Quit it! Quit it!
Well, hey, look, I'll tell you this.
Quit it!
Don't give up on the internet. Here's the real truth. Google is only going to show you the group's idea of what that answer is. Now, when you learn to use Tor does not. Tor will give you the answer you're looking for and it will get you. To me, Tor, when you learn how to use it and not get distracted, that is our new Encyclopedia Britannica. That's the world encyclopedia now.
I wouldn't browse Tor. Tor is only good for 2 things: paying ransomware and looking at things you shouldn't be looking at.
No, I mean, and I get the stigma, but put it like this: there's information. I don't like Snowden and all that crap, but there's better versions of things on there than there are you can find on basic internet. Let's just say, like,
that whole thing was built by the Navy. The Navy paid for that.
Well, I'm not into like stealing or sharing files and none of that. I find like, okay, look, here's one. A doctor, right? So let's say I don't have good insurance. I don't. So I want to know where the good doctors are. I don't have time to go asking a bunch of people. Now, in Tor, in certain groups, people are in your state talking about drugs, doctors, everything. And so I can go into Tor and ask questions anonymously and get a faster answer than a bunch of people on regular internet who just don't really have a degree and just, splurting a lot of answers. It seems like Tor is more, besides the bad name it gets, it's more direct. Like I can literally ask a silly question, and instead of giving me in 55 point something nanoseconds 200,000 stupid answers, in 5 answers, it's like right in front of you. Like, start here and keep going. It's way more organized. Even buying things, like, sure, it's not the greatest place, but it's easier to use a poor marketplace than it is asking Amazon for things. And you would need personal experience.
Tasha, I got a question about Etsy. If you want to sell something, let's say for $100, and you know you're going to be paying all these fees, but you want to end up with your $100, how much do you have to sell it for? So when you're all done, you're still making what you wanted on it.
All right, so on Etsy, if it was $100, let me put it like this: Etsy, my store is $200, right? Etsy decided to get me the sale, so they charged me $30 like that. Etsy and their fees, depending on what package or what you agree to in Etsy, they have different percentages, so it's kind of hard to say. There's the one where, hey, you do it all yourself, or you can get into this, kind of Facebook boost yourself posting thing.
I heard that if you have $10,000 I'm hearing feedback. But after you make $10,000, you're automatically entered into something where they supposedly advertise for you, and you're locked into it. You can't get out of it. Then they charge more. They take a bigger percentage.
Well, I've heard that too. I haven't confirmed it. I do know that when you make a lot more money, again, this is Etsy is making money. They're like banks. They want more. Remember, each listing they're charging us for. So that's where I'm realizing the more listings you have, the more attention Etsy will give you.
Okay.
And they're like, I think it's all automated. No one really knows, but we all kind of say, well, when I started doing this changed. When I started doing that, if you're gonna add $100, I would go into like Etsy might hit you with a charge. Add that $30, $40. Go to your post office and say, take a book. This weighs 4 pounds. How much you guys gonna charge me for a 4 pound?
Well, yeah, you can figure that out online. Go to USPS or FedEx, measure it, and all that online.
Put all that in your price, no matter what. You don't like that's. I went and changed a lot of my prices, and then I don't know what.
If you have 20 items and you're not selling anything, you're still out money with Etsy, right?
So I have 35 items, and every 3 months they're charging me 20 cents for the listing. I have it on each. It's 20 cents per listing, which is nothing because I'm gonna get that back as long as it sells. But even still, I think as far as I don't see, once you learn how to use it, I don't see a lot of things that ring people's ears. Like Etsy is the place, and especially during the holidays. Like,
but yeah, you can talk to anybody. Yeah, they've heard of Etsy, like Sears or JCPenney's. Everybody's heard of Etsy. Yeah.
And when I want people to go to my Patreon, I don't really want Etsy in my money. I want you to go to my Patreon, subscribe. As you subscribe, I'll give you a discount on what I'm printing. Like, I'm starting my own monthly send people things while I'm building. After I get 100 people, I'm gonna start.
Wait a second. So you're selling a subscription to get stuff from you? Because that's a racket. That's the best racket you can be in.
Oh,
Sell
no, not
people
a
a subscription box, because that's guaranteed money every month.
Well, look, I give people like lithophane. If you're in my $12.50 club, you get one of these. I'm gonna just get a picture and mail it to you because I'm not in this for business. I'm going to take all the little dope dealer dudes I know and make them put their money where their mouth is, and we're gonna start killing kids in the street. That's my goal.
Yeah.
Now, I have to find ways to make money to do and get more filament, and that's the only reason I care about business at all. Like, it's too much cutthroat in politics, period, for me to care, but I don't have a choice if that's what I'm doing. So not like you said, Mike, it's more like I'm giving this away anyway, right? I'm out here, I give people stuff, but if you really like the cause of what I'm doing, then here's this. And as you go higher classes, instead of $12 with a lithophane, you go $95, I'll give you a helmet for you to paint. Like, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just, what can I produce for someone in Patreon that they would want that they don't have time to do for themselves? Like,
Well, here's something right here that anybody can buy this from Tony Chambers and 3D Model Crowdfund, but not everybody paints the way I paint.
There you go. See?
If I wanted to sell this,
well,
why is that not on Etsy? That should be on Etsy, Jay. I'll put it on.
I wouldn't do multiples. I would just do this one. I did one for my son at 250% that you guys have probably seen online. It's huge. This one's 150%. Well, I got it backwards.
So here's how Etsy works. You can sell one off, Jerry, all day. I have every one of my listings as only one item. That way, if someone's like, oh, I need 10 of those, and I know I can't produce 10, I don't want a refund charge. So I've only listed every one of my items as one.
Yeah, and they would automatically buy it, and if they bought 10 and you couldn't do it, well, then you got to figure out how to give them their money back.
Exactly.
Jerry, how much would you want to sell that thing for? Is that like $1,000 or $2,000?
No,
because that looks like an awful lot of painting.
That's $300 with shipping anywhere in the U.S.
Really? That's cheap.
That is.
I was doing 300 plus shipping, and then I brought my prices down. But It's not
Like, I
perfect.
think you ought to just raise your prices. You might sell more.
It's
You
not
know,
perfect, but it's good. The only thing on this is that I had a lot of little supports in the chains, and they're not cleaned out perfectly. But other than that, it's painted real well. The base, it's all done in PLA. I got the monster glued to the base.
Jerry, that should be on Etsy. You're like literally the
I
stuff I see.
And then the cape is done in ABS, and so everything's been airbrushed and hand painted. And I did one with my son that's like 32 inches tall.
I would sell that for a heck of a lot more than $300.
They're selling on Etsy that size, Jerry, for $1,200 right now. I'm telling you, facts. They're selling those that size.
Yeah,
I've got Star Wars heads I got from a group a long time ago called Build It and They Will Come. They're one-offs of this and that. I could print more if I wanted to. I mean, I've been in the hobby for 4 years now, and I honestly have thousands of STLs on files, but I don't have the time that it takes to print more than basically one of anything. I dabble with this, I dabble with that, so I wouldn't sell anything where like 10 or 15 of anything. And if I ever sold more than, say, 10 of anything, I would contact that designer. I would get his permission or blessing or give him commission or whatever if I wanted to do that, but I don't. I just want to clear out 80% of what I got because I got too much stuff. And so it costs so much money in credit cards and money throughout the years. I need to recoup it to pay for my hobby because as it is now with all my expenses, I can't afford the hobby that I'm in. But if I sell off a bunch of prints, it will. Last week, I sold a model to a gentleman that I just mailed to him. I got finished, and he bought it on YouTube, which unfortunately YouTube takes 30%, and I've got to wait 90 days to get up to 90 days to get the money. But I got that mailed off to him today, and by him buying that, I was able to go buy some upgrades for my laser printer. So if I start selling off stuff, it can help pay for what I want to do. And
put it on Etsy. Your holiday gifts, figurines, and you don't have. That's the thing. That's why I went to Etsy. You don't have to make a million copies of stuff. You can just sell your one. And there's
made stuff that they want anyway, right?
Thank you. That's
Etsy.
That's Etsy. They don't really care that. See, every new listing that you have, again, that's their motto. Like I'm realizing they're a bank to me. They really, I get like here's why it's also cool. People can make payments on your models, Jerry. All right. So look at Chris. There's a guy just paid for my sword. He was messaging me for 2 weeks. Hey, can you start the print? And I want to be nice to people, but I can't. So I have to say, look, man, I will start it, or I can show you other prints similar to it. I show him pictures. Etsy has a thing I read that you can make payments, and they'll pay me the full amount before he finishes making his payments.
It's like an Etsy credit card or something. They're making payments through Etsy.
Exactly. Yeah. And within a week.
And not all models are perfect. I have some models that might not have printed. There might be damage underneath the chin or this or that, but it can still be printed. So obviously when I listed pictures, I would show people the good spots, the bad spots. That way they don't get it in the mail and say, well, I didn't see that, or I didn't know about that. Show everything up front.
I think you're being analytical because if you look at my Etsy, I have 30 pictures up, and not only like 4 of them have actual prints.
Post a link in the chat here, and we'll throw it up on the screen. Anybody wants to check it out or watch this video tomorrow, next week, next year can go check you out.
I started in July. I've been up 3 months, and I only got my first sale last month, and I'm on my 3rd sale in 1 month. It just started.
Up and down saying, honey, I made some money.
Oh, you have no idea. Look, the kids is in on it. Like, wee, right? Yeah. We're because it's a dream, and my kids are watching me struggle because I refuse to go work for anybody. I will go donate blood. I'll pick up. I don't care. I don't. It's more important that I'm seeing and doing this than working. I don't, because I have a record too. It's not like my intelligence is never going to let me now because of the choices I made. My fault, yes. But me and a lot of people, we're very smart, but we don't legally have the right to work. And around because of security clearance, like doing what Dave is doing, some of that stuff, we couldn't have that press in our house. That's felony. Straight up. Even if we never pull it, just because of the trouble we got into, it looks suspect. And unless you want to take that risk, you don't do that stuff no more. But
we hire a lot of guys like you at the restaurant.
Yeah, because we're hard workers. Yes.
Yeah,
But
and I mean, you're always taking a chance because a lot of guys fall back. We've had probably 30% of the guys fall back, and
I'd say 70, 80. Let's be real.
Yeah, it might be that much. I wasn't gonna say that, but dude, when we find when we find the right one, I'll just tell them, I don't want you working for me forever. You got talent, you got ability, you got drive. Why don't you go do something with your life, man? And I push them for that. And we got success stories like out the ass that are still good friends of mine that came to us with some pretty bad records, man.
Yeah, I mean, everyone says, lift your bootstraps up, whatever. Whether that works or not, we don't know how to do that. Let's just understand we are chemically imbalanced in the brain, making wrong choices. It's a habit.
Everybody has the capability of change.
Exactly, but do they want it?
Yeah, the strictest rules are self-imposed.
When I was in my 20s, I had a drug habit for a short time, and I done a lot of hardcore things. And Shaw might have been my best friend, but I don't do that anymore. And the best way to quit doing substance abuse of any kind, move away from your area, even if it's across town. Don't associate with people that do things you don't want to do. Meet new people, move to a different apartment or house, and then you can change your life. Just get out of where you're at and move somewhere else.
I left the state there. Like I was gonna lose my wife and my one kid. My son was in my wife's stomach in 2009. I was in jail Christmas on a conspiracy charge. Like that was my moment. I said, all right, look, if I get to raise my kid, I won't even jaywalk anymore. I swear to God, because I was repeating what my dad had did. Wasn't there, that kind of stuff. And thank you, Dave, for doing what you do, man, because there's not very many people that will take that risk because they can't afford it. And it brings more positive change in the world than we can ever repay you or explain.
Throw your link up.
I did. It's it's in the private chat, my bad.
Oh, okay.
I can
Somebody's got YouTube on too.
Uh-oh, there's an echo.
Yeah, I got it.
I'm with that, Chris. If Jerry's into it, I don't care about percentage. We can post them, and you can.
No, I'll figure it out.
Oh, yeah.
If you were my next door neighbor, my buddy on my street, then maybe we could do something. But no, I'll figure it out. But thank you.
Yeah, I got you. I get you.
I'll PM you if I need any advice about how to do this, how to do that.
Go into the Nico Industries chat group, and Nico actually helped me get my sales on mine.
He asked me a long time ago about selling his models, but I don't want to be exclusive and push anybody's particular model. I'm into a lot of different designers and things. That's why I didn't want to get involved with Nico with pushing.
I do it. I love Nico's models, and my page is 90% Nico's models. But I do sell other models. Because I don't think most of them, I talk to them, they're not really worried about competition like that. If I sense that, then like I actually was in Hex 3D, but me and that guy, he's not very responsive to me, but his models are great.
Yeah.
I wouldn't worry about that. Put the more variety from different names you have. Remember, the internet is the top dog. Traffic.
Anything I ever listed on Etsy, I would say where it came from. So even if a random person knows nothing about 3D printing, I'll say this is designed by such and such. I would never
on my links.
Good thing for your keywords also, because if somebody searches for that designer, you can piggyback on those results also.
So that's what I've done in my store. I have everything tagged Nico Industries. You can't help but pop up every one of there's things like that. Like that's what I'm saying. Those 13 keywords with Etsy, that is the game. That is everything. Like for 2 months, my store, I will sit with you when it's Jerry, I'll send you screenshots personally, and if anyone else wants to see them, we can. I don't want to expose my whole screen and customers and stuff, but I want to show people that for 2 whole months, 3 people just looking randomly, and I'm posting it on my Facebook. I'm having my is posted.
I don't share things that people send me, and I've dealt with people as an administrator in my group for 4 years. I don't share files, nothing like that. Never have, never will.
I don't want to expose my clients' information. Like there's screens that I can't talk about that, but I want to show you, like literally, I am a story in the making. It went from nothing, and I've got 3 sales, and other people potentially now messaging me constantly because I changed my keywords.
Mm-hmm.
Big difference. I started getting 80 people a day, whether they were buying or not, and that's a lot from nothing.
On YouTube, I pay for a program called TubeBuddy, and it's a monthly fee. Depending on how big your channel is, you pay different amounts. And when you go to somebody else's channel, it will show you what their keywords are and this and that. So it helps your channel. You can figure out what to use. You can see what other people are doing. It's kind of like behind the scenes. You don't see everything they do, but you can see some of the things they do. That way, it helps guide you on your channel.
That I believe in that. I'm trying to use, like, there's bandwagon, or someone I was talking to was like, well, you can't jump on a bandwagon with everything. All I can say is I will copy whoever's keywords are working.
If there's a stream that's fast moving, sometimes it's great to hop in.
Oh, okay. I see.
When I say hi on a stream, what do you see? It says 3D printing and painting, and my logo says 3D HP. People go, hey, who's this guy? 3D printing and painting. Why do you think my name isn't Jerry Knappin Streams? That's why it's 3D printing and painting. Because it automatically, the minute I say anything, it's advertising for me. It has my name. Instead of my username, it's got my logo name. 3D printing and painting. My logo is 3D HP.
Okay, but you need to get on Google, and you need to set up an SEO, and you need to get your name so
out
that
there.
when you're on Google, when somebody's looking for your items, or you personally, or your website, or your Facebook page, it brings up everything. You could type Petsfang in Google. Everything. Type David Petzel in Google. It shows my restaurant. It shows all my Petsfangs. It shows everything, and it pushes people
to
SEO.
Is Google the word SEO?
No, SEO is search engine optimization.
Okay.
How does that really work, David? Because look, if you look up Childlike Inc., I've cheated, and I'll explain how. I believe the internet is based off of traffic and how much you can get. Talking with friends on other languages, like using my computer to translate other people's languages, that's traffic. In, like, we use Twitter, other people are using WeChat, like in China, and I don't speak Chinese, but I can hit a button, boom. So now I'm posting Childlike, that's going to the internet. So if you put in Childlike Inc.,
but why do you care if somebody from China is reading it? Because they're not going to buy your product. They're not going to, you can't send it to them.
Well, that's not entirely true. I mean, China is one of the emerging markets in the world. I mean, a lot of
they have a lot of traffic. They use a lot of traffic.
1 billion people. It's 1/5 of the world.
There you go. It's like, and I don't know what I'm doing. I'm
But you also don't know what is getting to the people, because it's all controlled by their government.
You're right. But if I make, like I'm talking to you and Jerry right now, I got a lot of my information by talking to people like you. So the government still runs us, right? But look, we have this platform we can privately talk to. Like, there's guys in North Korea, we can't even say the word Jesus in our stream. He believes he'll go to jail like that. North Korea, like, if you have a Bible.
That's why I wonder how Naomi Wu gets by with so much that she does.
G-Tech had me on live stream a month ago. I was on G-Tech's live stream, and I wanted to talk about Winnie the Pooh so bad because people told me that their emperor is banned Winnie the Pooh, and you can't talk about it. I hope you don't have a Winnie the Pooh, and I'm thinking, well, hope I do. Maybe I just said it there. That's the person I am. But, I want to be respectful, and I didn't bring up Winnie the Pooh or nothing. But I thought
you will get him in trouble on his stream. You can have his stream closed down. It seems petty, but I'm actually, beyond all the talk that they do, it's really like that. But still, I'm a street dude. I don't care. You tell me no, I go somewhere else. Someone next to you is gonna want to see and say. And it's that passion, that persistence that the government is just like, oh, it's just some street dude saying something, blah, blah, blah. Well, it's more than that. I'm using your traffic system. Your system is about how many times my name is said.
Okay, so I'm finding this. I found this out the hard way. And so when you get on Facebook or you get on Instagram or you get on Twitter, all they care about is money. Okay, so I can have, and I found this out the hard way. I can have 10,000 people that are my friends, but Facebook will not send that post out to my friends.
They're not
You know,
supposed to.
their algorithms are set up that if I want people to see my post, I have to pay money.
Yes, that's, listen, you can thank net neutrality being signed for that. Thank you very much. While no one paid attention to that. To be honest, that's
Matt,
a major.
Matt, you want to say something?
Yes, I think if you want to go around the Facebook thing, you do have to keep it private, and you do have to say something like working with charities and all that. But like I work with charities, and my stuff gets shown to everybody.
Right. See,
well, the problem is there's a lot of us that are commercial. You know, I have a commercial business, so if I want anything to be seen, I have to pay money for it.
That's a fact. That's just how we.
It is.
Well, be creative.
Well, why would you want to take money and why would you want to take food out of the mouth of Jeff Bezos and
exactly
the guy?
I know the way you're saying it, and I agree 100%.
I mean, they need to have their diamond-studded swimming pools and
exactly. Don't get me started. Don't get me started.
My Facebook group has over 5,000 members on my Facebook group, but I've only got under 1,900 on YouTube. And I wish everybody that joined my group would join YouTube, but they don't, because a lot of people must not like YouTube. And whenever I go live, whenever I post on my Facebook group, I'm going live, I'm assuming that all those people get a notification that says I'm going live.
No,
because
only if they have set up to get notifications from you.
Okay.
I'll put this on you guys. This is why I'm playing with this. And again, my knowledge very small. I will keep playing with it. Back in 2016, I used Black Lives Matter and when Trump was going into office to try to boost my Twitter by using a bot that whenever someone said certain things, it would bring my childlike page to your page, get you to follow and like, right? This was through a third-party app Twitter was using. I didn't read all the stuff at the time. Find out Instagram and Twitter have laws against AI being used on their servers because every time you use it, you have to ask permission.
Well, they're the only ones who are allowed to manipulate things like that.
You understand what I'm saying now? Yes.
And stuff. You know,
get that. So what I managed to do to get Twitter and their attention, they shut me down for 60 days because I went overnight. And too, Jamie Foxx was making a new movie. So I hurried up and was like, anything hot, keyworded and say, please check out Childlike. In 3 minutes, while Trump was going into office, I had 2 million people looking at my page.
Wow.
We won't even say what the percentage of zero to people looking at my page was in like the 100,000s.
Well, that was probably all Russian bots. Come on.
I was going to say, they were probably all bots.
Hold
the
on.
company that sold you the software to use a bot to get the information is sending you 10 billion bots to make it look like they're giving you an advantage.
No. Listen, listen, I had my friends in on this. And that is not, I'm not going to say that's not what it was. Of course, give them the tool to set the ability they gave me, whether they were stabbing me in the back or not, was I was testing it with my friends. And as they said the word color or whatever it was, if you were using Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram at the time, I had looped bots on my own to make sure that anyone saying any of these words, I'm in your face. And they shut it down in 3 days. They were like, that's too much. And there's rules they say.
Some people call it also harassment. Online
Okay,
harassment.
so without the harassment, I had set it to not spam the globe. Only if you were talking about certain specific things. Like, I kind of read the rules, but
I mean, it seems
it's
like
not
spam.
fair that on my right-hand side, I'm not looking for Shave Club. I'm not looking for, blue-colored seeds that are grown whoever for whatever it is. I'm not asking for that.
When I post on Twitter or my group, should I put hashtag whatever, or because usually I put only time I use hashtags is on YouTube. Underneath my videos, I put different hashtags so people search YouTube for certain words that my video might pop up. But I've never used that on Twitter.
Right now on social media, hashtags are the tips. Hashtags are the way to go.
Here's this. I don't believe all of that. I've read the rules. Hashtags only work if it's a business. Okay? Your hashtags on your regular pages aren't going where you want them to. Unless you have a business page, then the hashtags work.
All you gotta do is click on that hashtag after you create it, and you can see everybody that is coming up and how many.
That is true. But and that's only because they're looking for it. We're talking about it shouldn't be sitting there. It should be sent out like a bot. Like, I'm getting calls about my extended warranty. Do you know how many people are getting that? Okay. Why?
Extended warranty people are great. I try to waste as much of their time as I can.
Oh, God, me too.
I pretend to be elderly, to be kind of hard of hearing, to be finding my credit card number, and then I read it off to them, and it's just off by like a couple digits. And these guys, they get all messed up because they'll keep on spending that time, and they're not harassing anybody else.
Okay, so listen to this. I have some friends who have built their own chatbots to make the collection agencies waste time. So you may be talking to a bot and you don't realize it.
Oh yeah, those also exist. Those
I'm talking to a bot. You just have
not
to
all the
do
time.
you
Not
have to
all the
ask,
time.
like you say, you have to ask key questions.
That's true, because they will hear keywords and keep a conversation going with you very well. The people underestimate what this AI is doing, and I'm saying to you, if you're letting a street dude like me, who struggles with finding a pronoun on a piece of paper, but I can copy paste code that can affect 1 million people, we really need to look at this stuff.
Well, the minute you get a phone call and you go hello and they start talking and they're trying to say something, go.
So we're at work during the day, right? We have these like speaker phones that, they're sitting at all of our desks. You can put it on speaker. And whenever I would get a telemarketer, I'd put it on speaker, especially a good live one. So I had somebody call me up about selling me solar panels, and it was great because I was like, I'm really glad you called. I really needed somebody to talk to me today. I was thinking about just going and jumping off the roof of the building, yada, yada, yada. I was giving him a sob story about how much of a sad sap I was. The guy hung up. I got a call back 2 minutes later from his boss. He's like, we really care about you. Where are you at? Where are you located? We'll send somebody out there to make sure you're okay. And I told him I'm located on the do not fucking call list. So don't call me. And they did not appreciate that at all, man.
I'm stealing that, just so you know, dude. Just so you know. So, all right, about call lists, you guys. Not that these people are really going to do it. My wife does at-home calls. If you tell them to remove you from the list, don't just tell them don't call you anymore. You have to say, please take me off your list specifically. I don't want to be, and tell them, I don't want to be contacted by mail or phone. And they have to remove you off, or if they keep calling, you can then file harassment charge.
Yeah. You know what's really fun about that, right? If you get a toll-free number, right? Because you know how they have this stuff which blocks the caller ID,
the
right?
scam likely.
If you get a toll-free number, they have to disclose the phone number that it's coming from.
Yes,
because it's a toll-free number. So if you take a regular phone and you forward it over one of the PBX systems to a toll-free number, you can get what the actual phone number for the scammers is. And you can get it set up so that you get onto all those spammers lists, and you can tell them, take me off your list, and then you can start sending them those bills. because it's like $200 or $400 or $600 or something that you can get per call after you tell them to take you off the list.
Yeah, I'll get one of those 900 numbers.
Well,
Make
I
money-
just use
make
Kali
money
Linux
while they're
station.
calling you, you know? Charge $10 a minute or something.
Have you got it? Have you got the call from Microsoft yet, saying that your computer has been hacked?
Oh,
Yeah,
those
you
are
need
so
to.
much fun. If
Well,
you
now
set up
they're
a-
the best.
That was big
you
in
can let them in there and
2018.
have fun with them.
Yeah, I have fun with those guys. I do. One guy was pissed because I kept telling him my name was Juan. He was like, "What's your last name?" In a million, right? And he wasn't getting what I was saying. That I'm one in a million. He just totally missed it. But
Well,
it was-
guys, it's been 3 hours, 50 minutes. I'm going to end the stream. I need to go eat dinner and watch TV.
Bon appetit.
But it's been a lot of fun. Thank you, everybody, for being here. And I got to figure out who I'm going to have for my guest next week. During the week, I got to locate a couple people I'm talking to. And but I'll do another hangout. I'm not sure when, but I'll do another hangout. But Sashay, Mike, Matt, the guy down there, old guy in the corner, Dave. Thank you very much for coming. So I'm gonna bleep all you guys out and say goodbye to everybody. But I appreciate you guys all coming and hanging out. And I'll look into that CS have to get something going.
Thanks for the hangout, Jerry.
One of these things.
Thank you for your time.
And here we are. Yeah, it's been fun, guys. I've been streaming for 3 hours, 50 minutes. And yeah, I'm not sure when I'm going to do another video. I'm working on the Ecto 1. I've got the laser project going. I'm waiting on a new board to come in the mail for the laser so I can start working on it and get a video out. And I'm just tinkering on this and that. And I'll do another hangout here in probably 3 or 4 days. And next week I'll have a cool guest on. I'm not sure who it's going to be yet. I'm talking to a few people, but please like, subscribe, share the video down below. I'd really appreciate it. Yeah, and if you don't like it, thumbs down, whatever you want to do. And if you want to donate, help me out, or get some cool discounts, there's ways you can do that down below. So thank you very much, everybody, and happy printing, and have a great night.